Like, I'm David Scandura.
I'm Rustus Burger.
And, like, we're gonna find out if Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed is the greatest movie ever made. Oh my god! That was so good! That was really good.
Who's your mommy?
My mommy?
Welcome to the greatest movie ever made, the show where we watch a movie and tell you if it's the greatest movie ever made.
Jinkies.
I'm David Scandura, joined as always by my co-host and meddling kid, Justice Market.
This is, I feel like this is already off the rails and we just barely started.
We haven't taken our shot yet, so it's not off the rails yet.
You're right. Let's take this podcast fully off the rails. We haven't even introduced our guest yet. We'll take a shot and then we'll introduce our guest.
Good. I want them to feel whatever burp comes out of me and know who it is.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bottoms up. Ugh. That is some very old Barton.
Cheap bourbon. Cheap bourbon.
I did a full espresso martini buzzball because I fuck, and I want all the listeners to know that. I just look like I fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Hannah fucks. David and I notably do not fuck.
No.
Neither of us has ever fucked.
Not a single fuck.
I'm Pete Davidson. That's the movie we're talking about today. Bodies, bodies, bodies.
The voice you're hearing, who is bringing, I think an unprecedented level of energy to this podcast
That's all I know
record,
how to do.
is the great, the legend, Hannah Detwiler.
Oh, wow. That is my name. That's my government name.
Should we introduce you?
No, it is. It's my government name, and I want you all to know that. Oh, God.
Yeah, if there's anything that you want linked to, like, your, like, true, like, government identity, like your social security number,
Yes.
it is an episode
268. Anyway,
of the greatest movie ever made.
02. Anyway, so.
We're going to be talking about the second Scooby-Doo film today.
Yes.
But before we get into that, we usually ask each other how we are.
Yeah, how's everyone doing? Hannah, how are you doing?
Oh my god, I'm so good. I just went to a random wedding I crashed in California, which was a fascinating 3-day. I was called a different name. Like, I was introduced by 3 different names because my friend, like, their +1, it ended up not working out. So they, like, invited me a day before. And I went and I ended up being the star of the wedding. Sorry to the bride. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. You were so beautiful and you talked in this low, sexy voice that only sounds good on camera. And your friends all didn't believe it was really your voice. Your wedding was beautiful, bitch. But here's the thing is that I brought the party and that's all that matters. I'm sorry I brought the party and I wore 2 different outfits to your wedding because I'm an icon. And I broke my dress and I flashed a bunch of people. At the end of the day, I had so many shooters in my jacket that some spilled out during the ceremony. And I was passing them out to people like I was the candy man.
Oh, hell
and
yeah.
Anyway, so I'm doing great.
Just opening up your coat and being like, shoes.
I was like, you want
shoes?
some? No, it's for real. Like, they had an open bar, but they didn't have like a lot of they had like only Jack and like whatever. Anyway, so I was just like, oh, crown apple. Anyway, yeah, so it was good. I wore 4 different wigs. Anyway, so yeah, my life is exactly how everyone thought it was gonna turn out. My life's exactly how you pictured it being, and if you didn't picture it like this, then, I don't know, call me more often. Fuck you. My mouth is so full of saliva right now. Anyway, continue.
I think it's safe to say that, like, the experience of you stealing that wedding from the bride is going to be pretty similar to your experience on this podcast, where you're just going to steal the show from David and I for the next 2 hours, 3 hours, who knows how long we'll be here.
Oh my god, and we'll all get Thai food afterwards.
David, how are you doing?
I'm good. It's been a good. I mean, it's. I don't know. I hit a wall today where it's like it's fucking Tuesday, and I'm already just like, can't wait for the weekend. Can't wait to fucking stop doing my job.
Yeah.
I think I just hate my job. I think that's what it is.
Word.
Have you considered dancing professionally?
I have.
Have you considered quitting your job and being unemployed like I am?
No.
Oh!
I mean,
Oh, did you not know that?
No, but I love that for you.
Thank you.
Oh my god, king of unemployment. Let's go.
Yes.
Okay, continue. What were you going to say?
No, just hanging out. Have been having a good time. As far as media recommendations, my favorite stoner metal band from Phoenix called Goya.
Yes.
They just released a song today called In the Dawn of November.
Oh, I didn't know they had a new song.
They have an album coming out. It's their first album in 7 years.
Fuck yeah.
I'm really excited for that. And they're playing a show in Phoenix on Friday that I might go to because I've never had the chance to see... I've never taken the chance to see them. I've had many chances to see them. But haven't done that.
Yeah. I second David's recommendation for Goya because they're like you said, they're like a local Arizona band.
Yeah.
They're pretty big in the local music scene, but they're not huge. So definitely fucking give them a listen because those guys are fucking great.
Yeah. The record's coming out on Blues Funeral Records, which is like a well-known stoner doom label. So this is like a big step for them. So yeah. Justice, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I am feeling this week that it's like it's been this way since I quit my full-time job, but I'm really feeling it this week. I'm not any less busy without a full-time job, which is like fucking horseshit. Because I was like, oh, I'm going to take a few weeks before I like find another full-time thing and like just chill out a little bit. And the thing is, I also have a part-time job at the Shakespeare Festival, which I've talked about. And because I don't have a full-time job, I'm just doing more at my part-time job. And then also just like there's more shit coming my way in terms of like home upkeep and stuff because like my wife's working full time, so I'm like taking on more of that stuff. So it's just been like I've been feeling very acutely the last couple days that I'm like not. If anything, I'm more busy than when I was working full time. Because when I was working full time, I was half-assing a full time job for 8 hours a day, and now I'm like full-assing. Like helping my wife around the house and doing my part-time job. And it's like actually more work than sitting at my computer and pretending to work. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
No. I could not agree with anything more. My full-time job is friendship. And then I'm like every day 5 different bitches are calling me. I'm like, how do I have a job? How do I have a job? When you're all FaceTiming me all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
but it's important because otherwise you fucking isolate and rot. Yeah, and also, I've been laying floor at the new theater and my knees hurt. But other than that, I'm good. Just busy. My media recommendation is the legendary sludge metal duo Jucifer. I have not done a real deep dive into their catalog. I mostly have listened to just like songs here and there. But I listened to a few of their albums this week, and their 2002 album, I Name You Destroyer, is really fucking good. That one, I was like picking and choosing which albums in their discography to dive into, because they have a ton. They've been going for like 30 years, so there's a lot to choose from. And that one was described as like indie rock meets Black Sabbath, and I was like, that sounds very interesting. And I had only heard like the single amplifier from it. I listened to the whole thing, and it's really fucking good. Nice. So give that Jucifer album a listen if you like sludgy, metal-y stuff.
I've definitely checked them out in the past, but never really they never hooked me, and I really got into them. So
yeah. I Name You Destroyer is a good place to start if you're looking for a place to start. Hannah, did you have anything to recommend? Any TV shows, music, anything?
Severance always, but everyone loves Severance. Also, there is an artist called Rachel Chinariri who's like, she's British, and she's got a new song called Ask About Isaac or something, or Talk About Isaac, and it's so good. It's all of her albums are good. And by all of them, I mean the one that she has out and then her singles, but she's so good. She's British. And if you're a fan of Florence Pugh, she's in one of her music videos, so you're welcome. It's very hot. You're welcome.
Speaking of very hot, Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
The hottest movie in America. It is an iconic cast.
Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
I mean, holy moly. That was really the main thing that my brain was doing.
It's the horniest movie in America. It's the horniest movie of all time. 2004 was the horniest time for movies. It's a horny movie.
I would have to, I think, consider more titles that came out in 2004, but I have an inkling that you're right about this.
I'm right.
Yeah.
It's horny. It's horny, and it's full of latex, and it's horny.
Yeah. Hannah, do you want to talk a little bit about why you selected this particular film to bring on the show?
So I brought 5 titles to you guys, and we decided on this one. This title, I personally think, is like because I love a sequel. I'm a big fan of a sequel.
Okay, I was gonna ask why 2 and not 1.
Because 2 is better than 1.
Yeah.
2 feels more like the original, and then the first one feels more like a sequel because they're not in Coolsville, and so it does feel more like a sequel. And like this one just it's a simple premise, but it's one of those things where, in the same way that Spider-Man 3 has too many villains, this has too many villains, but in like a hot girl way. It's costumes, it's fun. None of the villains have like depth or arc. They're not trying to make arc with the villains, so therefore it works. It works. We don't need to know enough about Sandman. It's fine.
Yeah.
So here are my thoughts: is that it's a perfect movie. It's a perfect movie. It's a movie for hot people that like hot things, and hot things being the black tar monster. The black tar monster can call me at any point. Oh my god, I love a big black blob. Oh my god, the slimier the better. Anyway, I just think if you have one eye, please call me. God, please. Oh god, please. Also, the cotton candy ghost can get it. I just think that it's a... No, I will not. I will not. I see the look on your face.
Go ahead.
I think every single moment of this movie is full of sex. It's crazy for a kid's movie. James Gunn was popping his pussy. It's fine. It's just like everything he put in Guardians of the Galaxy does not compare to what he put into this. And I think... it's like fun CGI. It's the kind of CGI where you're like, this is CGI, but it's like fun. It's good colors, and like, I have ADHD.
You love good colors.
I love a good color. I like, my letterbox is like, what? Oh my god. And borderline, baby. That's why I cut my shirt when I got here. Anyway, I came into David's house and I said, do you have scissors? And I cut my bodysuit into a crop top. I've been drawing on my pants while I was driving. I don't recommend, because it will scare your friend and she'll spill water all over her pants. Anyway, so I just think that it's one of those movies where like it captures the like beautiful part of like a very antique franchise, and then it brings it into the modern, but it still has like, it's fun for the whole family, but it's fun if you're like a freak. And I don't know, I think it's hot, and I think it's fun, and I think it's stupid, and I love a stupid movie. I also love a movie that's like, do I have body dysmorphia? No. I think Shaggy looks great with tits, and that's different.
We will talk about Shaggy with tits.
Shaggy with tits, iconic.
We're going to be talking about Shaggy with tits.
Fuck, God, it's so good. Okay, anyway, that's kind of my synopsis. Yeah. I think you got all you needed from the movie from that. Podcast done.
We can just end the episode right now.
Episode over.
I do have a question, and either answer is fine with me. Mm-hmm. Did you watch the movie beforehand, before you came out here?
Fuck no.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. That's so funny.
No, are you kidding? I love this movie.
You just have it hewn into your DNA.
I want you to know that when those two little skeleton guys, okay? When the two little skeleton guys are using themselves as like waveboards or whatever they fuck are doing, like down the fucking mountain, that's me and my best friend, and I brought her along with because I'm incredibly codependent. I'm codependent. She's sitting silently beside me because if she's not with me, then I'm thinking about her. So anyway.
There is a silent participant
There is a silent participant, and she was hot as fuck. She took an hour to work on her wig. Anyway. Oh my God. Anyway.
David. Your thoughts on the film Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed 2. Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Not Monsters Unleashed 2, which is what I said.
Monsters Unleashed 2, Scooby-Doo.
So, what's your history with this franchise, with this film, with this property?
So I've been sort of... You asked me this before.
Yes.
Like briefly over drinks or something. I've been withholding this.
Yeah.
I was a fucking big Scooby-Doo kid.
Fuck yeah.
I loved the shit out of Scooby-Doo. I watched the original show. I watched whatever show was running at the time. I was big into the original movies, like Zombie Island.
Oh, the animated movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine that you were into the one with the Hex Girls.
Oh, God.
Because if I know anything, dear listener, if I know anything about David's taste in women, I think it was probably formed.
We have the same taste.
It was probably formed by him watching the Hex Girls. I think that was probably like your neural pathways were being like connected as you were watching the Hex Girls perform.
See, Linda Cardellini in that latex.
Cardellini?
Cardellini.
Put some respect on my wife's names.
Tortellini. Oh, fuck.
Apologies to High Priestess Pod, my actual wife.
I think for years I just didn't know how it was pronounced. I was just pronouncing it wrong.
It's fine.
And
you
then I
were
realized
a
it was
reader,
spelled
not a
differently.
listener.
Anyway,
It's
Although
fine.
you are the Italian one out of the two of us.
her in that bodysuit.
Right.
I can see how that was a sexual awakening for some people. However, I must say, no disrespect, she got nothing on the Hex Girls.
Yeah.
No. Cartoons are always hotter, and it's simply because they've got those, like, eyes.
Yeah.
That are looking at you. They're looking at you and they know. They know what you're up to.
Yeah.
They know what you've been up to. Those eyes, they're watching you, and they're watching you with whatever you're doing.
So I was a big Scooby-Doo kid, and I know I saw the first one in theaters.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at the timeline of like the release of Scooby-Doo movies, and after the first movie comes out in theaters, I stopped recognizing like the animated movies. So I think probably after I saw that first one, I stopped watching Scooby-Doo because I was like 10 at that point.
Yeah.
So I actually don't remember if I've ever seen Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Wow. Okay.
Based on what you texted me, you had not seen it. You're like, yeah, I can't wait to watch a kids movie, and I was like, fuck you, actually.
Yeah.
But there's stuff that I remember from it, but right. And the thing is, I remember that first Scooby-Doo movie. I was a kid, and like I hadn't really developed taste yet, but I think that may have been one of the first time where I was like, I think I watched a movie that I don't like, and I haven't. I thought it would be funnier if I didn't go back and watch it for this.
And I just give you a recap.
But I sort of remember the first one being like very different than the show.
Yeah, you go to Spooky Island.
A little bit more like kind of mean-spirited with some of the jokes.
Yeah. It is, to my memory, which is interesting based on how you were describing the second one, Hannah, but to my memory, the first one is like the one that is like dirtier and like more adult.
It is.
Okay,
no,
yeah.
it notably is. It's
Right.
It's more dirty because they had cut a lot of jokes, and so you get half the joke. So in the first one, there is more. It was originally rated R.
Really?
So the first one was originally rated R.
They were like, and they like set out to make like an adult
They
Scooby-Doo.
set out, yeah. So they edited out a bunch of shit. So it was rated R. They had way more, which is the reason why that girl is named Mary Jane.
Right.
It's the reason why they come out of the
I do
van
love that
and
joke, by the way. That's
it's a
very
great
funny
joke. No, they like there was more nudity. They went through and they like straight up edited out cleavage. They did all kinds of stuff. So like the original script was going to be much more of a like, this is a rated R comedy.
Right, it's like a parody of Scooby-Doo.
It's a sexed
for
up
adults.
bullshit version. And so then in the second one, they were like, okay, we know what we're doing now.
Right.
Because we know based off of like test screenings that we need to like kid it up a little bit more.
Gotcha.
And so because of that, that's when they came in. And I think that ultimately, though the first one is a little bit more like, they've gone through and they made it just cheeky enough. The same way that like SpongeBob or like any kids comedy is gonna have jokes for adults. Shrek, for instance, it's gonna have jokes for adults, but it's going to like kind of toe that line. The first one they had to edit out jokes. This one they were writing jokes for that audience. And I think that's why it was more successful.
Yeah, and there are some jokes in here that sort of toe the line, but I remember that first one towing the line much more.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one is like when the whole body swap shit happens.
Yeah.
And Fred's like,
I'm gonna look at myself naked.
Yeah.
Well, in this one, they were supposed to have a Velma and Daphne kiss.
In this one?
This one. So
Damn.
it was supposed to be. So this one was.
Wait, they robbed us of Linda Cardellini and Sarah Michelle Gellar making out in this movie?
So this one was supposed to be far more gay. But like, so there was like, because they don't have Daphne and Fred like hook up in the first one.
Yeah.
And so you're not really sure what their vibe is. It feels like exes, whatever. And so in this one,
I think at the end of the first one they like kiss.
Right. And so in this one, it was supposed to feel a little bit more like, is this like, is everyone in the gang fucking? Like, what is happening?
That
lives in you.
This is literally a question that I was planning on
They're polyamorous as shit.
Planning on asking you guys is everyone in Mystery Inc. fucking
absolutely
except Scooby-Doo, because I don't want to think about that.
No, I think there's a bestiality component. I think there's a bestiality based on the fact that he dances with that woman. Like, he's into women. In the same way that, like, when I was 19, I got, like, humped by a giant husky. It's the same shit, okay?
I was really hoping not to go into Scooby-Doo's Red Rocket territory, but I think we found ourselves there.
At the end of the day, we're gonna brave this territory. We're not gonna bring it up again. Here's the deal. I think that recently I saw my cat's red rocket and I was like, who are you?
Yeah.
And I just think that my cat wants to be pegged by me so bad. We can cut this out. We can cut this out. I would just like to say that my cat looks at me with eyes like he wants to get pegged. I'm not, obviously I
didn't realize there were eyes for that.
Cut this out. Anyway, I just think that my cat and I have a relationship and he looks at me in a longing way that makes me uncomfortable. And I just don't know what to do actually, this is a self-help thing. I think that what do you do when your cat looks at you like that? And if so, if you and your roommate end up moving out from the house, does she take the cat so that way it doesn't keep looking at you like that? Is it something I'm doing? Is it a pheromone thing? Because I'm not putting out pheromones for anyway. Okay, cut this out. Cut it out. It's not my fault he looks at me like that. He only shows red rocket to me. Should I be concerned? Am I his mommy or what's happening? Okay, cut it all out and we'll start over. So anyway, I would just like to say that I think that... All right, hold on. Anyway, so
wait, 3, 2, 1, clap, yeah.
So I think that, I would just like to say that with Scooby-Doo, when he's dancing with that woman in the, like, villain's bar, and he's got the, like, afro on, I think that Scooby-Doo is like a dolphin, very interested in human women. Much like a dolphin and its trainer, he is interested in human women, and I'm sorry for all the shit I said about my cat. It's just true. He looks at me like that, and why am I the only one he's showing his red rocket to? Why am I the only one? There's people that live in my house. It's so weird, right? Anyway, okay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not the first time I said it. It won't be the last. I have a picture of it because I was so confused. Great. So anyway, my cat does not want to get pegged, and even though he's really putting that forth, and also if you think that people aren't putting "I want to get pegged" eyes, you're dumb. You've never put forth those eyes. Sometimes when people want to get pegged, they look at you in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I think the design of their clubhouse.
Yeah.
It sort of has that like open design with like the low couches and stuff.
Right.
Definitely like accommodating for an orgy.
It has fuck den vibes.
They're polyamorous.
Right. Yes.
Justice, what's your experience?
They're polyamorous, but some of them are not.
What's my experience with Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
I was also a Scooby-Doo kid. I was definitely raised on like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons and shit. Like we had those on like we would rent them on VHS and shit and just watch like all the old like 60s ones. And I remember seeing the first movie and this movie both when they came out. I have my younger brother is like the gap between me and my younger brother is like 6 years. So a lot of stuff that I was maybe a little bit too quote unquote old for in terms of like children's media, like I still saw because we would go as the family to whatever he could go to. So I definitely saw this in theaters and we had it. I think we either owned or rented it a bunch, and I have seen this movie a zillion times. I remember liking this one more than the first one.
Because it's a better movie.
And I, similar to David, thought about rewatching the first one in preparation for this episode and then decided not to.
Yeah, I was like, it would be much funnier to just jump into Scooby-Doo 2.
It does not need the first one. They don't connect at all.
Yeah.
They do not connect.
Right. There's like nothing, they don't even reference anything that happens in the
mention it at a single point. It's perfect.
Yeah. I remember liking this one better, probably because I was still like young enough that like some of the kid-friendly stuff landed okay for me. But also I feel like I was like, I don't know, like 12 when this movie came out. Yeah. So I was like getting old enough where like some of the like more adult jokes were like hitting for me too. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I was like kind of in a sweet spot when this movie came out, and I like severely vibed with it. Yes. But this is the first time I had gone back to it in like 20 years.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I watch this movie like twice a year on my like, okay. So I have this TV that's like, it's the TV I watched 9/11 on. So it's like, I don't know, like, what's 10 inches? Like, roughly, like, it's like a 10 by 10, like, TV with a DVD player. Anyway, so I watch this movie at least twice a year.
On the TV that you watched 9/11.
On the TV I watched 9/11 on. That's just in my kitchen.
9/11 was over, you're just like, I'm keeping that
TV. Oh, fuck yeah. I have the TV I watched 9/11 on and the TV we got afterwards. They both have stickers on them because when I was a kid, I was not, like, apparently symbols are too hard, so you have to put stickers on them so you know what things mean. My parents were geniuses, by the way, and that's why I went to cosmetology school. Anyway, so No, I think that like this movie is important cinema. And I think that like at the end of the day, it's a movie about how you and your friend can be like not good at things, but you're still good at them. And like that's beautiful. I think that you might not be the best as far as like instinctively, but when it comes down to it, you still have merit. And I think that says a lot for dumb people across America.
I will say, this movie is truly like a empowerment for dumb people.
Oh my god, it's a Shaggy Scooby movie. Everyone else is just like background characters.
Yeah. I would say it's a Shaggy Scooby and Velma movie.
Yes.
I was actually gonna say, so like, who in the Mystery Inc. gang do each of you relate to the most? Like, if you were gonna say like that member of Mystery Inc. is literally me, like which one is it?
I'm worried that I'm and it's because I've had too many buzzballs. Oh no, what is his name? With the ascot. I'm Fred. I'm so sorry. I've had 3 buzzballs driving here. I'm Fred. Unfortunately.
So just to be clear, you watch this movie twice a year.
I watched this movie at...
And what's the guy with the ascot's name?
Fred. Fuck you. I would just like to say that I had a Chicago dog from that hot dog place that's in the A-frame, and I've had 3 buzzballs. So at the end of the day, drinking and driving is not cool, but if you do it, you're going to go to a podcast and you're going to have a really great time. So follow up to that. Oh, God. So, no, Fred for sure. Unfortunately, I really align with Fred in that we're both kind of dumb, but we're going to figure it out. And we weirdly want to be the leader.
You both have himbo energy.
I have himbo energy. Yeah. I want to be the leader, and I will lead, except for the fact that I'm not the smartest person in the group, but I'm like, we're going this direction. And then whoever's smart enough to be like, we shouldn't, doesn't speak up because they're a coward. Fuck you, actually.
Because you're a natural leader. They're not gonna contradict
Sorry
you.
that I'm like, I'm taking this turn, and even if it's the wrong turn, we'll just turn around, and they'll be like, yeah, you got there eventually. Like, I'm sorry. Anyway, whatever. I just want you guys to know I'm wearing corduroy pants, and I feel like that gives off Fred energy more than anything else I've said today.
Yeah.
I'm wearing corduroy pants, and if you want to touch them, you can't, because it's a podcast.
David.
When I was a kid, I loved Shaggy.
Yeah.
Watching this movie last night, I think I'm Fred. I think I'm Fred in this movie.
Okay, all right.
Are we 3 Freds here?
Just because they himbo energy?
I think so.
Although I was gonna say, if I was gonna pick one for you, I would pick Velma, because to me you're the Velma of our dynamic, because I consider you the smart one of the 2 of us. And you're especially Velma to me because I identify the most with Shaggy.
Okay.
Because he smokes weed and eats a lot of food.
I think that's
I am so mad that this movie did not include a scene of Shaggy and Scooby eating a big sandwich.
I know, what the fuck?
It's because they do in the first one.
I sort of thought
they should do it again, though. They should do it again. Because it's in every Scooby-Doo cartoon. They make a big sandwich and they eat it.
I know.
And they do so much other cartoon shit. Like, they do the, sped up thing where they're, like, piling all the stuff against the door.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, it's like, if we're making this,
and
like, a
live-action
cartoon.
And they're doing the, like, Mystery Inc. surfing thing on this carpet that comes out of the, like, van. They could make a big sandwich.
Yeah, there's a bunch of, like, musical montages with monsters
chasing
them just like in the show.
Or give me 5 minutes of them eating the cotton candy monster.
Yeah, I do love that moment of this movie. That is a moment that really works for me.
Makes me hungry.
We should just talk about some of the stuff in this movie. Now that we've sort of covered
how we feel and who we are as people,
and our cat's boners and all that stuff.
Right. By the way, I am 28 years old. And I was born in Columbus, Ohio. Not that anyone fucking cares. Anyway, all right. What else can we cover?
I don't know. I like that this movie starts with a full-on opening credits sequence that's like multiple minutes long. I was just like, wow, we're really like going full cinema with this.
It reminds me of Men in Black. Yeah. Like when the director of Men in Black also did The Addams Family, and they like long intro.
Yeah.
With like fun fonts, and I think that's beautiful. It also reminds me of Spider-Man when they've got the in the same way that Uncut Gems is channeling Spider-Man, where you've got that like fun colors, fun whatever. Like this has that, and I think that's what's really beautiful about early 2000s cinema that we just
this is so early 2000s, and you get it from that opening
that's
credits.
Why it's sexy.
Yeah. This is like a fucking IV drip of 2004.
I love 2004. I don't know what I was doing at that point, TM. Anyway, but like it's so. God, 2004, 2005, 5 because another favorite movie of mine is Fantastic Four, obviously. Obviously, Fantastic Four is another favorite of mine, as anyone that has ever followed me on Twitter, especially in 2020, knows. But I just think that this time of cinema was like funny costumes. Bad CGI, but bad CGI that was like good CGI.
Yeah.
Like better than what we're getting now because they're rushed and underpaid.
You kind of feel the way about early 2000s movies that I feel about like late 90s slashers.
Yes.
Like I severely fuck with even like David and I recently watched I Know What You Did Last Summer together. And like that's not a good movie.
No, but it's sexy and cool.
Right.
God,
Yeah.
What if it was like a good bowl of soup where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna slurp this shit. That is a good movie.
Yeah.
Where you're like, it's good and it makes me feel good, but like, is it the best thing I've ever? No, but it makes me feel good.
Yeah. So the CGI in this movie, because like it's in the title, it's in the title sequence. We've already talked about it.
It's not good, but like
Perfect.
I'm okay with it.
It's perfect.
It's fine. It works for the movie.
It's a good monster movie.
I do think the tar monster kind of looks like Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens.
Yeah, he does a little bit.
I'm gonna say something really controversial. I think the Jabba the Hutt is hot. Not because he's a weird misogynist, just slave trader, but because he's a slime monster, and I think slime monsters are hot, and so therefore the tar monster is hot to me because I think that tar monsters are hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's got a Jabba the Hutt.
He has a Jabba the Hutt thing happening
yeah.
where he's like, he's an asshole and you can tell.
Yeah.
He has like one line in the movie and it's just him laughing. He's like, ha ha ha. And you're like, yeah, I'd fuck you. I'd fuck you what? I don't know. Oh God, based on my track record. Anyway, what were you saying?
When he starts like wrapping people up in tar tentacles,
Delicious.
that was doing it for you?
It was so good. Love every second of it. God, I could have had 5 more minutes of the movie doing that. I could have had 5 more minutes of it just like that. Just like that, where you're like, what is happening? That hurt your ears a little bit? Yeah, you're right. I love it. God, your one eye can look at me all day. What were you gonna say?
I don't know what I was
It's
gonna say.
sticky.
Neither of
and
us
it's
remember
scary.
what we were
Okay,
gonna
great.
say.
It's sticky and it's scary, but it's also jovial in the same way that in Candyland, the molasses guy. So I have a type. I have a type. Apparently, it's anyway.
It's just guys who are made of goop.
I love goo. I love goo, and that's why I'm a lesbian.
So really like a femtar monster.
Are you
would be.
an amorphous blob with a deep
do.
voice? Or are you a beautiful woman? I don't know. Oh, fuck. Okay, wait. And we should talk about a different thing.
All I was going to say is that the CGI in this movie is not good, but I don't mind it that much.
Yeah, I don't like it so much when it's used for environments.
Yeah.
Like when they show up to the haunted house.
Yeah.
And it's like clearly like a CGI haunted house. I was like, you could do something here because like the sets are all really. It's the sets have like the Batman and Robin sort of garish early 2000s thing where it's just like, wow, I'm just watching
Another
them
sexy
light
movie.
millions of dollars on fire.
Yeah, it's just maximalist opulence. Yeah.
You know how it's in the same way that the Tower of Terror movie feels very real.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't, and I think that's actually. I think it's actually really sexy and cool. You know, like when you go to you're a tourist somewhere and they've got the postcards that you can get where they're 3D or they move.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is.
That's a good way to put it.
That's what this movie is. Instead of seeing just straight up a postcard of a picture of it, it's the one where it pops.
It's like a
3D.
holographic.
Yes. And I think that's sexy.
Well, and the costumes they do for the Minor 49er and the Creeper and stuff
Really
are
good.
so cool.
Okay,
Very
so
cool.
yes, I think that Captain Cutler's Ghost, the Minor 49er, and the fucking zombie guy are the best looking monsters in the movie. And they're all in practical fucking rubber suits.
Right.
I kind of wish the zombie had more to do in the movie because as I was watching this movie, I was thinking about Monster Squad, which we talked about with Tony Machete, because there's some obvious similarities. Yeah. And the thing that I was thinking about is anytime that zombie would show up, I was like, he's the mummy of this gang where he's just not doing shit.
Right.
He doesn't do jack shit.
Right,
and I'm like,
right.
let's get this guy involved a little bit more. He needs to pull his weight, especially because his design was my favorite.
Yeah.
I like the way that guy looks. But with the fucking... The pterodactyl looks like shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good.
Of course it looks like shit. It looks like a pterodactyl that's been just covered in I don't know, sad smoke. Like, you know when you walk into a club and there's too much it's like smoke machine.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It's too much smoke machine where you're like, wow, I'm having a hard time breathing. Do I need an inhaler? That's what it is watching this movie. Is I need an inhaler to look at the pterodactyl.
I think the pterodactyl's kind of hot.
Okay,
he
wait.
sort of has like abs and shit, you know?
Yeah. This is interesting. Do you have a reptile thing? Because you also really like the Bill Nye snake in Rango.
I didn't think so, but maybe I do.
Do you have a reptile fetish?
So funny.
Fuck a scaly.
Scales.
There's
scales
something,
stuff.
you know what? This is something that's like, if we were to advocate for people
Things
that are
that
not
slither.
using lotion,
Yeah.
right now I currently have like a sad little like dry mark in my finger where it's like cut open, and I would like to say that I put lotion on twice a day and I still have this. So for people that have dry skin, I want you to know that there are people out there that are definitely into it, and they're David. David, they like you when you're scaly. God, do you have psoriasis? Oh shit, God, there is a market for you.
I feel like I need to ask this question, Hannah. Because you've already expressed a preference for the tar monster, and we're already talking about the monsters being hot. Do you think you could rank the monsters in this movie based on fuckability?
Yeah, I think I could. Okay, so if I were to go off of fuckability, I think that Tar Monster is first for me. Cotton Candy. Then there's the oh god, what is the
10,000 Volt Ghost.
10,000 Volt Ghost. 10,000 Volt Ghost can get it. Actually, you know what? I would like to change my ranking. 10,000 Volt Ghost is first.
He's into some freaky shit, I think.
10,000 Volt Ghost is first by far. 10,000 Volt Ghost. It's the way, and Black Knight Ghost also.
Yeah, Black Knight Ghost.
Black Knight Ghost.
It's the jaw.
Fucks. Yeah.
And he wants to fuck you.
Yeah.
He wants to fuck you. He's not trying to murder you. He's trying to fuck you. So,
Also,
okay.
I think canonically he has a dick and balls, because when they kick him in the nuts, it works.
Yes,
And he
okay.
says right in the round
Okay,
table.
so I would like to change it, not based on my personal preference, but based on, like, actually what's true. So, I think that 10,000 Volt Ghost, then, Black Knight. Black Knight?
Black Knight.
Black
Black
Knight.
Knight, yeah.
Then I think my beautiful Tar Monster. Then I think the Cotton Candy Ghost can fuck, because the way he's looking at them, and then he gets eaten.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Which is, I mean, it's just basically just, they do vor to him.
Yeah. I think that Alicia Silverstone, who's obviously just not, like, she's not technically a monster.
I think you can count.
She is a rubber suit.
Yeah.
So Alicia Silverstone.
Sorry. We'll get back to the monster fucking ranking. I have to ask this while I'm thinking about it. Is the reason that there's a potion in Jonathan Jacobo's lab that makes you have a lady's body because he is drinking it to be Alicia Silverstone?
See, I would like to. I'd like to think that that's the case, and then they rip the head off, which is what makes it confusing. Because in theory,
but Shaggy still has his head when he drinks the potion,
right? Which is what's confusing for me.
So part of me thinks that he has been drinking that potion, and he just is like walking around with like Alicia Silverstone's body and fucking Tim Blake Nelson's head.
And then he put. Oh
I can't
my
believe
god!
it.
And then he puts the mask on.
That's what it is. By the way, would fuck Tim Blake Nelson with.
Alicia Silverstone's body? I mean, I probably would too.
10 out of 10. Actually, that's ideal for me. It's ideal for me. That is a note for all of you out there. Get more feminine hips.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyways.
Didn't mean to take us off track with that.
No,
it's just I had that thought in the scene where
I want you
Shaggy
guys to
drinks
know
the
that
potion.
Minor 49er is last for me.
Okay.
I think that Zombie lives somewhere in the middle.
All right.
I'm sort of into Minor 49er.
I love that for you, not for me. I just think that, like, I'm far too afraid of what's underwater. And I would like to throw in the first one, there's that one ghost. There's the ghost at the beginning that they, like, hunt down, whose name I don't know.
Oh, in the first
one.
Yeah.
And I know that it's not
like
in this
in a
movie.
clown costume.
It's in a clown costume. That one would fuck.
Yeah.
Would fuck for sure.
Okay.
Would fuck that weird blow up body.
Yeah.
It's not in this one, but it's.
What about the
important.
pterodactyl ghost? Where's that at for you? Since we know that David is
there's something
pro
about,
fucking the
there's something
pterodactyl
about
ghost.
wings that I just think are really gross.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm a bird. I have a bird heart. I've always had a bird heart, obviously. Obviously, everyone knows that I have a bird heart, but, like, I
goes without saying.
Obviously, when you look at me, you're like, that bitch has a bird heart, because guess why? I'm a double Libra. But I'm an air sign, bitch. Fuck you. Anyway, but I just, like, I wouldn't, I don't think I could. I don't think I could because it would look at me with its beak
Yeah.
It would look at me with its beak and its wings.
And then you're thinking about your cat looking at you, wanting to get pegged.
Right, wanting to be pegged. And I'd be like, I can't keep doing... I'm not into bestiality just because my cat is.
I don't think Pterodactyl Ghost is into pegging, though. I think
he's a top.
I think he's like top. A hard top.
Pterodactyl Ghost is a top, and that's the problem. Because I'm a top and we don't go together.
Oh, okay.
You know who I could potentially see being like a huge, like, low-key power bottom? Captain Cutler's ghost with, like, the big, like, scuba helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bet he fucking can give it to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I want only bottoms. I'm sorry. I want bottoms, which is why Shaggy's so interesting to me.
Yeah.
One thing I want to throw in. Just one thing I want to throw in, and then we can move on to whatever's next. Yeah. One of the things that I do love about this movie is just like my little kid who loved the show comes out every time I see the mystery machine on screen.
Yeah.
So good.
The limo mystery machine.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I want to drunk drive that thing. I want to get a fucking DUI drunk driving that limo mystery machine at the beginning.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just looking at my notes to see what we should talk about next, and the next thing that I have is, does ACAB apply to Mystery Inc., which I think is
yeah. If I were a citizen of the town, if I were a citizen of Coolsville,
if you were a Coolsville,
if I lived in Coolsville and I was just like out at a brewery chilling, I would fucking hate these guys.
Yeah,
they're pretentious as fuck.
Yeah,
what, they've got a big ass house and they suddenly are solving all these, and they're so smart. Fuck you. Also, like, I would hate them. I know I would hate them. And I can't even think of a good reason why. No, ACAB.
Well, because
ACAB applies to them because, like, sorry that people want to rob banks. Fuck you. It is a bad. Sorry that you all come from good families. Sorry that you come from such good families that even in a time period where weed isn't legal, you are able to get away with that shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. Also, I hate dogs. You heard it here first. You have a big dog. That big dog is going to cause a problem. It talks too. It's like an amorphous fucking dog. Fuck you. No, so here's the thing. I'd hate all of them. I would hate every single one of them. I think I would flirt with them loosely if someone bought me a beer, but otherwise it would be just to get something out of them. I want Mystery Inc. to give me money. I don't give a fuck about them as people.
You would fit in really well with the faux ghost.
Oh my god, I want you to know that I'm a straight up villain in this story. The way that I would be doing karaoke at that fucking villain bar. Yeah. The way that I would be at that villain bar every fucking week doing karaoke, wearing, like, head to toe cheetah print, which is what I have a cheetah print coat in my car that goes down to the ground. The way I'd be wearing head to toe cheetah print with my red fucking hair, singing karaoke and getting in a bar fight with anyone that was questioning me. The way that, like, I would have the bartenders wrapped around my finger and then they would be giving me free drinks, and if anyone questioned me, I would fucking elbow them. I am playing foosball in the corner. I am leaving without paying. That is a bar that I'm very comfortable at. And if I saw Shaggy and Scooby walk in there, I'd be like, wow, you guys are brave.
These motherfuckers don't belong
I
here.
would piss on them immediately. The way that I would pull my fucking pants down and piss on them immediately would be unprecedented.
I think it's very funny that they, like, dress up like really 70s to go undercover in the villain bar. That's pretty funny.
They dress up the sexiest they could have ever dressed, and I think that's really cool and really smart, because if you're going to a dive bar, you want to dress sexy, obviously, God, but also they can go fuck themselves. You're coming to get undercover information about people that are just, like, doing their day-to-day. They're doing their day. Also,
I know, they've served their debt to society.
They've served their debt. And also, if we were to talk about Old Man Winkles, like, you break into his fucking house, he puts you in a cage. Yeah. Hilarious. Yeah. Okay.
That is a really elaborate security system.
It's an incredible security with the Girl Scout.
That is really funny.
Stuck there.
And then, like, the Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses or whatever are there too.
Fuck themselves too. If I had any of those people come to my house, I'd be putting them in a cage as well. I just, like, don't have the money to do that, or the time, or industrious spirit.
Do you think he's releasing these people, or do you think something more sinister is going on? Because they say that, like, he's gonna come when the owner of the house comes back.
I think he releases them and they walk out of there. I think that he releases them because actually he's, like, a good dude. I think that at the end of the day, he just wanted to get what he wanted. I think at the end of the day, all of these villains just wanted to get what they wanted, and what they wanted was not a detriment to society. Like, what? They were just, like, kind of spooky, and then they were like, I'm poor. Like, this is bullshit. They are ACAB, and they should go fuck themselves.
My thing is, like, if I lived in Coolsville, I think this whole, like, gang of kids solving mysteries. Yeah. Like, okay, it's cute when they're kids. high school, they got a fucking van now. All right, whatever. Now these motherfuckers are 30.
I'm picketing.
Get a job.
Yeah.
Get a real job.
I'm
like
not
the rest
only
of
picketing,
us.
but like I love Daredevil. Okay, I love Daredevil. If I'm at Daredevil in the streets, I'd be like, you're kind of ruining our local neighborhood vibe.
Yeah.
You're ruining the local neighborhood's vibe. I'm sorry, but like the mob run bars are the most exciting. This might be because I live in Vegas. I don't know. This might be because I live in Vegas, but the mob run bar is the most interesting. So I'm sorry that you came into my cash only bar and you caused a scene. And now I'm like, I literally the other night was singing karaoke and there was a bar fight that broke out and I was like, I guess I gotta go home because the vibe's ruined.
Yeah.
They're ruining the vibe.
Yeah.
They're ruining the vibe of me having a good time after I'm done working at the strip club. Fuck you, actually. Fuck you. I have so much saliva in my mouth thinking about it. I'm a spitter. Continue.
Fuck Daredevil. All my homies hate Daredevil.
We love Daredevil. Anyway.
So none of us would be in the giant fan mob that
Fuck
them.
no.
I get so. I mean, just like fucking living in Coolsville. That's the only thing
I'd
that
own a
happens
t-shirt as
every
camp.
week. It's what are they fucking up to this week?
I would own a t-shirt as camp. In the same way that like Daphne is wearing a shirt with her face on it, I would have a shirt with her face on it.
I love when she's wearing that shirt with her own face
It's
on
so good. It's so camp.
It's really
I would have a
funny.
shirt with her face on it.
I also really like that, like when they're showing up at the grand opening of the museum at the beginning, and they all have their own little groups of fans.
So good.
I like that. Like Velmas are just very lesbian coded.
Yeah, because she's a fucking lesbian.
Yeah, I also thought
no one wears that much orange.
I also thought that Velma should go by LL Cool V because ladies love Cool V. Did you guys know that about LL Cool J? That LL stands for Ladies Love.
Really?
Ladies love Cool J. That's what
my
the
name
LL
is
stands
Turbo
for.
because ladies love.
That's why I made that joke, is
Turbo
because I wanted to
vehicles.
shoehorn that fact in there.
Okay, well, I love that you did
I really
that.
wanted you to know that LL Cool J stands for Ladies Love Cool J.
I mean, you could have just said it, but I appreciate that you did it the way you did it. Fine.
I don't know. I like her lesbian
God,
fans.
I that's a good fact, and she should go by that. Also, she's such a lesbian, and there's like. I would just like to make a case in that there's nothing more lesbian coded than dating a short twink.
Seth Green? Okay. Here's the thing. We've talked about how people are hot in this movie, right? Obviously, Sarah Michelle, Linda Cardellini, Matthew Lillard, Freddie Prinze Jr. They are all
so hot.
They all look incredible. Seth Green was the one that kind of blindsided me out of like he fucking like T-boned me like a Mack truck in this movie because I was like, what the fuck? Seth Green is so sexy in this movie.
Right in my little garage.
And then like the thing with his character is so weird in this movie because he ends up being cool and normal and fine.
Right.
But he acts like a fucking freak for the
Okay,
entire
I'm sorry
movie.
that he's funny. Fuck you.
Why is he
Here are my thoughts. Here are my thoughts.
Yeah.
Is that that's fucking hilarious. Like, here's the thing, is that, like, what? Like, he was, like, out on spooky territory, like, just kind of researching. The thing that, like, you have to think about someone that would, like, work in a museum that was a curator.
Yeah.
No one that's curating a museum is a fucking normal dude.
Curating a museum specifically dedicated
to like monsters and costumes?
Right.
Sorry that he's a theater kid with red hair. I'm sorry, we should arrest Ariana Grande's boyfriend too then. We should, by the way. Fuck him.
He showed up in Wicked and I was like, what the fuck are you doing
I would
here?
like to say it's the worst part of Wicked. Every time I see him, I just laugh. I'm like, God, Bach, fuck you. Anyway, if you haven't seen Wicked yet, I'm kidding. If you have seen Wicked, or if you're streaming it, please fast forward through his parts. He sucked. It ruins the movie. Anyway, so if like when you have red hair and you're weirdly hot and you're Seth Green, who is just icon, any man that's like, I assume he's under 5'8".
Yeah,
Right.
he must be.
He radiates that energy.
He's like 5'6", right?
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. As someone that has fucked a man that's 5'7" with like spiky hair, that's the most lesbian thing you can do. Fucking a man who's like 5'7", 5'8", spiky hair, really just like feminine energy, tiny. You can throw them around. That's something that lesbians do before they commit. Something lesbians do as their like long-term friends with benefits that they won't commit to. Love you, Avi. That they just like, it's just not. It's because they haven't come out yet, and they're like, I just need something that like my mom's gonna be comfortable with.
I have Googled Seth Green height.
How tall is he?
So you said he has to be under 5'8". He is indeed under 5'8".
How tall is he?
He is 5'4" tall.
Oh man,
that is like the same height as my wife.
Yeah, that's what makes him hot. I'm so serious about this. This is the most queer-coded movie in the entire world because Velma is obviously queer-coded, but Velma has not come out yet. She has a thing about Daphne, and like that's very comfortable. They're friends. They work together. It's very complicated. I think that Daphne is bisexual. I think that wow, I can never remember his name. Fred. I think Fred is bisexual as well. Sorry that Fred is a boring ass name.
So and the actor who plays him is also named Fred.
His name is Freddie. Put a little bit of something on him, please. Right. Freddie Prinze Jr. way easier to remember than Fred. Okay, no one remembers Fred. Fuck Fred. Freddie Prinze Jr. Everyone can remember. Okay, Freddie Prinze Jr. and our Buffy. Okay.
I love that they have been married for like so long.
They have a bet and they're just waiting for Howard Stern to like pay them.
It's so adorable.
Yeah, they love each other. Congrats on loving each other, you guys. You're never going to watch this episode, but if you do, I just want you to say that like you guys are both hot and you both can get it and everyone knows that.
Yeah. We love your love.
We love your love. We love your love, but like they're obviously both bisexual in this movie. Velma is obviously a lesbian who has not come out yet, and so she's dating a twink because that's what you do as someone that has dated a twink.
What about Shaggy?
Shaggy is chilling, okay?
Yeah.
Shaggy is chilling. He's way too high to fucking worry about it.
Okay.
Shaggy is like a one-night stand kind of guy. He thinks that he's a girlfriend guy, but like he's way too fucking stoned for that. Like Shaggy is a one-night stand bitch. And I love that for him. Yeah.
I also feel like, I don't know, I could see Shaggy just kind of being like not really that interested.
I think that Shaggy is
like I could see him being like
asexual.
Right.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking.
He's asexual or he's like straight, but like truly not that interested. He's like straight but like way too preoccupied.
Right. His like the main thing is like sandwiches, you know.
Yeah. Yes. God.
One thing I took away from this movie.
Or he fucks old women. He fucks
old women. Or he fucks sandwiches.
He fucks old women. That's what he does. He is all about that granny.
Granny fucker Shaggy Rogers.
Granny fucker Shaggy Rogers.
One thing I took away from this movie in regards to Shaggy. Holy shit, Matthew Lillard is the greatest actor ever.
Yeah. Obviously. We knew that from Scream. We knew that from everything. We knew that from SLC Punk. We knew that. God, he's perfect. He's perfect in a green shirt.
He really is so good in this movie.
Like,
he's why he voices the cartoon now.
Yeah. And he
I didn't know he was doing that.
Yeah, no, he's been voicing the cartoon since he was in the live action because he's so good in the role that they're like,
and, like, just his face, like, I found myself watching this movie wishing that there were more close-ups of the actors.
Yeah.
Because anytime that they were in close-up, I was like, these are, like, really good performances. And you kind of don't get enough of it. Like, there's so much, like, fucking, like, wide shots of a bunch of CGI bullshit happening. And I was like, no, just fucking show me Sarah Michelle's face. Show me Matthew Lillard's face. They're doing such good shit.
These are the films that changed his life. Because he was an actor, but he was, like, he had retired. He was, like... He had, like, done the thing where, like, you start making money, so you buy a bigger house, and you start having a family. Yeah. And he had told his wife, like, oh, my God, I can't afford our lifestyle anymore. I'm not getting work. Like, he was like, oh, my God, I thought I was going to be this big actor, but I'm not. And, like, he was starting to be like, okay, we have to downsize. So we had to downsize his house. He started, like, he did the thing where he rose too quickly, and then he was like, oh, I'm not sustainable. And then when this came along, it changed his life. He's like, oh my God, this has been the thing that has allowed me to, like, put my kids through school. This has been the, like, him being able to be Shaggy has changed, like, everything for him. And I think that's really cool. Just in general, because I think that, like, being a working actor doesn't mean that you're going to be the most famous person or you have the most money. Like, he is, like, this is just steady work for me. And
he seems really, like, dedicated to it. Like, in terms of bringing the character from the cartoon onto the screen. And it's like a pretty one-to-one translation, but he still has his own stamp that he leaves on the character.
I think he's the most like the character, and that's what makes it the most interesting.
Yeah. It's a really great physical performance, too. Yeah. Like, just the way he's moving his body in this movie is amazing.
His arms, crazy.
And he's doing, like, the Jim Carrey thing, where he just knows how to, like, stretch his face.
Totally.
And act like a cartoon character.
Yeah. Jim Carrey, congrats on your weird Play-Doh face.
You still haven't watched Twin Peaks: The Return, but Matthew Lillard is in that, and
awesome.
He fucking rocks in Twin Peaks.
I haven't seen a single thing that he's been in that he wasn't the most interesting person to look at.
Yeah,
the most interesting person to look at.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like a totally different mode of him. It's like rad as hell seeing him in that.
I think that it's interesting that they are like, well, if we're going to solve this mystery, we have to abandon our Mega Millions mansion and go back to like our weird shed that we were solving mysteries in. And I think that there's something to be said about when you rise too high, you have to go back to where you came from. Figure shit out. I think that when you rise too high, you actually don't have the full picture. And so at the end of the day, this is actually about rapid consumerism. At the end of the day, this is about when you have such exceeding wealth, you actually can't think clearly, and so therefore you can't see what's actually in front of you. So therefore, if you go back to the weird shed you had by a lake...
So we need to tax Mystery Inc.
We need to be taxing Mystery Inc. Here's the thing. Privatized police, fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay?
This is the thing, right? They're like an independent contractor that works with law enforcement.
Vigilantes. I think that in the way that, like, if you see a citizen's arrest, you're like, that's cringe.
Yeah. But, like, how similar are they to the Ghostbusters? Like, does ACAB include the Ghostbusters?
I think yes. This is literally, I was also thinking about this.
I think that ACAB includes the Ghostbusters.
Watching this movie, and I was like, yeah, they're like the Ghostbusters, which I feel like, it's also... They're also just privatized cops. I mean, they're just ghost cops.
I think that whenever you're dealing with paranormal, but like for the most part, Mystery Inc. is not dealing with paranormal. They start dealing with paranormal later on. That includes in the cartoon and in this. Like eventually, they start dealing with like fucking Dracula and shit.
How do you feel about
Zombie Island? Because this time the monsters are real.
Right. How do you feel about when the monsters are real in Scooby-Doo? Because like obviously like the OG like Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo, it was always a guy in a mask.
Right.
And then like you were saying, Hannah, like they kind of introduce like, oh, now there's real monsters.
When it's supernatural, I think that they're not ACAB because I think at a certain point it's like
someone has to protect us from this demon.
I think that's different. I think that like police have less they have less schooling than a cosmetologist, which is fucked up. Sorry, but every cosmetologist and nurse should have a gun. Anyway, oh fuck. Just kidding. But my thing is that I think that if you're going to have these people that are just doing private PI or like any sort of anything like that, like yeah, they're ACAB, but I think if it's supernatural, then like what are you gonna do? It's fucking supernatural.
Right.
This is Stephen King bullshit.
Somebody's got to deal with Dracula.
You have to deal with Dracula, and like I don't think that it's gonna be the police that do that. I don't think it is. I watch Stranger Things. I think Stranger Things. It's like, all right, what the police chief is kind of involved, but it's mostly because he's like got the hots for Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love Stranger Things. God, release season 5. Fuck you. Anyway, Duffy Brothers, I'm watching and I'm listening. And I think that at the end of the day, like with Ghostbusters, I think it's the same thing when it's paranormal. You get a pass if you have like a sick ass firehouse that you park your cool car in and you're just like chilling. I think that when they were dealing with actual people wearing masks and costumes, then you are actually fucking ACAB. I think that like that's where like what you're stopping people that are like underprivileged, or you're stopping people from doing like just
protecting
anarchy.
Their property,
right? Protecting their property,
keeping kids off of their damn.
And clearly they're ruining lives because when we go to the Fogost, like all these people are down on their luck because they have been like fucking serving hard time.
Well, if we're talking about Jonathan Jacobo, which is the fucking like actual fucking issue here, just as Alicia Silverstone. Oh my god. Oh, the perfect princess. I think that like the problem is that like they were just trying to move forward. Like people are just trying to move forward. They were wearing their costume, and then what you create actual monsters from. By the way, we have not mentioned this yet. Randomonium.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Randomonium, you cunt. Anyway,
every time they said the word Randomonium in this movie, I was like, I can't.
Like, Randomonium.
That's what they're looking for in Avatar.
It was short-circuiting my.
That's the way they went to Pandora.
I believe that's unobtainium, David.
Wow, you don't even know your pretend fucking whatever. Someone pull out that like the whatever scale of thing. Wow, God, when was the last time I was in a science class? The thing with all
the periodic table.
Shut up! You guys are jerking off to this. Fuck you. I know what the periodic table is. I can say it and everything. Here are my thoughts. Is that Actually, you know what? I think Jonathan Jacobo was right, and I think that it's not his fault that he wanted to dress up as a beautiful woman and snuggle his cameraman that was like super hot. I think it's not his fault that he was like, you guys ruined my life and I escaped from jail like I was like in a classic novel.
Yeah, we do need more on Jonathan Jacobo.
Yes.
There's so much untapped about this man.
Like, to escape from jail like you're in Robinson Crusoe?
Crusoe?
Yeah.
Robinson Crusoe?
Sure.
I'm not drunk, you are. Fuck you. I hate you. Not drunk and I never was. Robinson Crusoe.
When he escapes from the prison in the flashback, and it like looks like Alcatraz crossed with it fucking Azkaban from Harry Potter.
Yeah,
like it looks like a castle in the middle of the ocean.
Evil.
And it's excellent. I'm sorry that he swam all that way and he just wanted to like lay next to somebody. I'm sorry that he wanted to be cuddled after a long time being alone.
Yeah, I mean he just wanted to be held by Ned.
He wanted to be held.
I love his fucking janky prison wings. That's pretty
funny. Those are fun.
Hilarious.
But we have Tim Blake Nelson in this movie, and he's doing like a weird ass fucking German accent. And
it's like Tim Blake Nelson going sicko mode.
And he's barely in the movie, which honestly for me is a little bit of a problem.
I think
I've never seen him like go this far. Like be this hammy and cartoonish and crazy. Like I would love more of him.
Yeah, like at the end you get like a few really good minutes of Tim Blake Nelson after
like
the
Scruggs,
Alicia Silverstone mask comes off. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, where was this the whole movie? Because I like the little animatronic mask that he has when he is fucking being the threatening masked figure. And it's cool that it's not CGI and it actually moves and shit. But I'm like, I really just wish that was Tim Blake Nelson's face. But we can't do that because the whole mystery is that he was supposed to be dead.
They spend so much time on the misdirect. I will say that having a shrine to yourself.
Yeah, that was another thing.
Cunt.
That is cunty as fuck.
Very cunt. It's cunty. Sorry. It's slut pop.
Is he jerking off at the shrine to
I hope
himself?
so.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, no, he definitely is because I think he's doing sex magic. Because, like, literally, when we have the flashback to him trying to create monsters when Velma's doing the voiceover exposition, he's like, he has these fucking mad scientist things that he's jamming into this goop, and it's like on this pedestal that's inscribed with all these fucking satanic-looking runes, and then they talk about how in his book collection he's got, like, Aleister Crowley and shit, and I'm like, this motherfucker is, like, doing, like, dark sex rituals.
I'm so sorry, but like if I were doing science and magic, I would be absolutely vibrating the shit out of my pussy. I'm so sorry. I would have my Theragun and I would be blasting myself into another universe.
I'm pretty sure like the secret ingredient to him making the monsters real, he like has the suits and he has his satanic roots and then he just comes on.
It's cum. It's cum.
That's randomonia.
I think that there's something to be said about like life and death. It's duality of man. It's the seed. It's he's creating these monsters. What is randomonium if not?
I think they're his literal children.
Unadulterated cum.
Right. Yeah.
It's cum. It was always cum.
Which
That's
is why he's so
slimy.
upset when his monsters get killed at the end because he's like, they're my kids. They're my biological children.
That's why they have that aura around them. Like the costumes look one way, and then when they are animated, they have like an outline.
Yeah. I will say
the outline is the cum.
The animation works the best in this movie, I think, when it is just that like glowy green aura on somebody who's just in a costume.
Yes.
I think that effect looks pretty good, and that's one of the reasons why the Black Knight Ghost, especially in his fight sequences, looks actually pretty good in this movie.
Should we talk about the jousting?
We need to. At some point.
Yeah, Fred Jones jousting the knight on a motorcycle.
By the way, Fred Jones, most boring name I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, that's why you keep forgetting it.
Fred can go fuck himself. That's why I'm so
especially because like Fred doesn't get a ton to do in this movie. So when it's like, part of the climax of the film is Fred fighting the knight to like fucking Bon Jovi.
The Bon Jovi
biggest hell yeah ever.
The Bon Jovi needle drop in this movie is fucking insane.
I think that Fred doesn't have a lot to do in this movie because it's about him feeling useless.
Yeah.
And it's about like, okay, so it's like when you're the most useful player, when you are the leader, and then suddenly you are out of your fucking job. Like, I know I've personally felt like totally out to fucking like water, just floating away when I'm like, wow, I have no purpose. He has no purpose in this film. And it's him grappling with the fact that he has no purpose. It's deep as fuck. It's in the same way that High School Musical 2 is actually deep as fuck.
Yeah.
It's there a little bit.
Deep as fuck.
I think
it's
like
about abandonment issues.
there's more of Shaggy and Scooby like like exploring the fact that they're screw ups and trying to be part of the team.
Well, everyone knows that they're the favorite character, so it's like we have to have them figuring their shit out.
I would have liked a little more with Fred exploring that. I would have liked a little more with Daphne, because it seems like she doesn't have much to do other than like...
Daphne had her big arc in the first one.
That's what I was thinking, maybe.
Daphne had her big arc in the first one.
Right.
And so they were like, oh, Daphne went from... Because in the first one, it's about her being like, I'm not just the damsel in distress.
Right.
I have more to do, and that's why she, like, fucking studied Krav Maga or whatever
Yeah.
she fucking studied.
Yes. And
so
you don't get Sarah Michelle if she's not going to be doing fucking Kung Fu.
Right.
Because she didn't do fucking 7 seasons of Buffy for nothing. Are you a Buffy fan, Hannah?
I am a Buffy fan.
Hell yeah.
I'm a Buffy fan. I think Buffy is perfect.
Yeah.
I think Angel can go fuck himself.
Wow. That's a hot take. Although I am a little bit more of a Spike guy.
I'm a Spike guy.
Okay,
I'm a Spike guy for sure.
Yeah.
That's
just because Spike is literally me. Because he's like an irredeemable fucking demon guy,
right? Which is perfect.
Who is fixed by the love of a woman.
Well, it's
which
the
is
reason
literally
why
the story
Vampire
of my life.
Diaries is interesting. Vampire Diaries is Buffy, but they were like, what if we had them going on truly simultaneously? And then it was like they were brothers. Yeah. And I think that's like the thing is that Spike walked so that way the Salvatore brothers could run. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm so glad I could talk about this on the podcast. It has nothing to do with this. But I think that because there were arcs in the previous movie for other characters, they were like, okay, we had arcs.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we need arc. Because, like, Velma has no arc in the first one.
Yeah.
Velma has no arc except for being like, I trust that I'm really smart. And it's like, yeah, that's why you're wearing orange, you dumb cunt. So I think that, because orange is obviously the symbolic color of smart people, which is why my hands are moldy oranges, because I'm a dumb smart girl. Anyway. Follow me. Anyways. This has all been one big plug for my Instagram. Anyway, I don't even know what my tag is. So I think that at the end of the day, like, they had arcs already. So they were like, okay, who are the most popular characters, or who have we not had an arc for? We already had one for Daphne in the last one, which was a big arc.
Yeah.
Like, she becomes this detective. She's like...
Yeah.
And then I think that her having this moment with Fred was something that they, like, put in later. Like, it's clearly a reshoot. But it's a reshoot that's interesting, and it's them kind of solidifying that they're like, we're into each other. But Fred gets this moment of being like, I was the leader, but I've kind of become, like, he has this underlying thing the entire time where, like, he's the one that's being attacked by the media the most. So it's like, okay, what happens when you're the leader that's being attacked by the media the most? Blake Lively, how does that feel? So, like, what happens when you're being attacked by the media and then you're coming forward and you're like, actually, no, I am a hero. And how am I a hero? I'm a hero by riding on a motorcycle.
Riding a motorcycle and hitting this huge animated suit of armor with my
so good
giant penis lance.
I would be so fucking scared if the Black Knight goes. I would be so scared.
I love after he gets knocked off the motorcycle and fucking Sarah Michelle gets blasted into the air by the 10,000 volt ghost, and they're just laying in that little moment that you were talking about, Hannah. They're just laying next to each other. I like that in this movie, Fred. You're right. Freddie is a better name.
It's a better name. That's why they have a restaurant named Freddie.
Fred and Daphne just accept death here. I really liked
that.
Where
they should have fucked. Yeah. They should have fucked because the villains would have been like, well, we can't kill you.
Not while they're fucking.
Wait,
that was weird.
Although, yeah.
Now we're uncomfortable.
If the 10,000 volt ghost is that much of a freak, maybe
I believe they are.
Maybe he's joining in.
I do think Scooby-Doo media is at its best when it acknowledges that Fred is an idiot.
Yeah.
Because I remember I also watched the young Scooby-Doo, and they just straight up young Fred is just a fucking moron, and they had this running joke where like, there's a character in the show who's like a bully named Red Herring. And at the end of every episode, he always accuses Red Herring of being the villain. So anytime we're playing that up, I think Freddie Prinze Jr. does a good job tapping into that aspect of the character.
Yeah.
I just wish there was a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
I wish there was more Freddie Prinze Jr. in general. Also, any interview he did for this movie is hilarious. And I implore you to go watch them, because any interview he did, he was like, yeah, they're hanging out, there's a dog there, like it's like he wasn't even in the movie, like he's like, I don't know. But yeah, like he clearly was like It's like someone that like did all the different cuts of the movie and didn't see the final cut and is just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what this movie is about, but has no idea. And I think that that's beautiful, and I think he's a sweet Prinze for that.
I really wish
Freddie Prinze Jr. for that.
I really wish him and Sarah Michelle were in the movie more. That was one of my main gripes.
Yeah.
Not enough Tim Blake Nelson and not enough Sarah Michelle or Freddie Prinze.
Yeah.
It's a guilty
Sarah
pleasure.
Michelle.
Yeah.
They should have been in it. It's a guilt.
I'm glad that they gave an arc to Velma, because I think Linda Cardellini, fucking Matthew Lillard, I forgot his name now. Like Matthew Lillard is really tapped into like trying to replicate the character from the show, but also puts her own spin on it. This movie is really
about the actors just getting to. It's like watching a play where you're like, I know that person is actually Matthew Lillard. He's just pretending to be Shaggy. It's like you're watching a play versus a movie. They're not the characters. They're not like, I mean, they are. They're everyone's embodying their character, and you're like, yeah, that is that version, but definitively, it's like Linda Cardellini. Like in that movie was so good. Like you don't think of them as like, oh my god, Velma, she's really solving it. It's like, God,
when I was a kid, I was like, this is where I know Matthew Lillard from.
Right.
People talk about him being in Scream and SLC Punk and all this stuff, but I was like, oh, Matthew Lillard. You mean, wow, that was rough. Matthew Lillard.
Lillard.
It's the double L.
There's too many L's.
Yeah. Matthew Lillard, you mean Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Yeah, of course. I love that guy.
Yeah. You know what? We were talking about Velma's arc in this movie. I fucking really still laughed at all the jokes with the fucking rubber suit.
Because it's like hilarious.
Making fart noises
I'm
and shit.
sorry, but a fart joke
The
is
reveal
hilarious.
that she's wearing her whole ass sweater under there
is incredible.
Is fucking hilarious.
And then when she unzips it and sort of pulls the sweater out, I was like, I think this actually has improved the look.
Yeah.
It has.
I really like when she when Seth Green shows up for their date and she's in the suit and she just says, "Who's your mom?" And Seth Green goes, "My mommy."
I didn't know that she said that. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the GIFs.
My mom
so
was not aware that she walked down the stairs and said, "Who's your mom?"
She's incredible.
Holy shit!
The way Seth Green delivers that line is like pure perfection.
It's two people that are actually not attracted to each other whatsoever. Like, and I think that's really incredible. She looks so good in that outfit.
Yeah.
She looks so good. She looks so good in everything she's wearing because she's little Cardellini. Linda Cardellini. Wow, these names are actually so hard to say. Wow, am I just tongue-tied? You know what? I want you guys to know that my dear friend Kirsten Roberts, who, if I said her full name and she was awake right now, she'd be like, did you just say my birthday? She told me not to stutter, and I said, well, I'm going to stutter a little bit. I'm going to stutter a little bit, because...
It's fine. You've listened to the show. You know we stutter all
I
the
deserve
time.
to stutter, okay?
Yeah.
I deserve it, and all of you listening, you should actually find that really sexy and cool.
I like that we lulled her to sleep with our voices. I hope that
us talking at full volume.
I hope the listeners
very comforting
to this episode didn't find it quite as boring.
Oh, she's crossfaded as fuck.
Yeah.
She's my Shayla. I love her so much. I have a photo of her from this exact moment. At whatever time mark this will be, we will post the photo. She's perfect. God, it's so good to be in Flagstaff, Arizona.
What else do we want to talk about? We haven't talked about the Skeleton Men very much.
Oh, we should.
What's up with those fucking guys?
Perfect.
The Skeleton Men are fucking, right?
I think that they're all one being.
Oh,
I personally think they're all one being, and they can split apart, but I think they're all one being.
They do turn into like a
I think they
would
would be fucking each. I feel like if I was...
Well, would you fuck yourself if there was two of you?
Yeah.
If you could split your bones apart?
I think so.
Like in the Harley Quinn show, if you haven't watched the Harley Quinn show, you should watch it. It's really fucking good. There's a time where like the Clayface splits into two, and he's like dating himself for the entire episode, and he's like, God, oh my God, you're so cool, and it's because it's like half of him. I like to think that if I met myself out there in the world, and I saw her and I was like, wow. I'd like to think that we would fuck, but I worry that I would just hate her guts. And I think that that's what's happening to the Skeleton Men.
Yeah.
That they both hate each other's guts, but they're also fucking. And I think that's really beautiful. I think that they are one body, one soul.
There's a real push-pull, for sure.
In the same way that dinosaurs have been, they've been... oh god, it like plastic wrapped is what they're calling it. It's like when you have like when they found the dinosaur bones, they're like, let's just plastic wrap it. But actually they probably had like, you know, muscle and like feathers or like fur on them, so they probably looked completely different, and also their bones weren't put together correctly. I like to think the skeleton men are like dinosaurs, but if they were plastic wrapped, we'd think they were one way, but they're actually a different way.
It's not really clear what sort of creatures they would be.
They have one big eye.
Muscles.
They party.
Yeah.
Oh, they party. Oh.
Yeah.
They party.
I like that they have one big eye.
That's fun. I like
They're
when one
blackout drunk the entire movie.
I like when one folds into a sled.
Right.
I think you
Blackout
have to. Yeah, I think he has to be.
They're best friends.
I got drunk and then I turned into a sled and my buddy rode on top of me down a
It's
hill.
the rosebud of the movie.
I have to say something about that scene where the Shaggy and Scooby sled down the mountain on trash can lids and the skeleton men turn into skis and go after them. And Hannah, I apologize for what I'm about to say, but I think that scene fucking sucks ass.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm sorry that you don't have best friends like I have best friends. Sorry that you don't get my life the way. If you lived in Las Vegas, you would feel differently about that scene. If you lived in Las Vegas, you would be like, "Wow, that scene makes a lot of sense," because we're all just pissing in an alley.
Most of the movie, I was really, really vibing with it. I was like, "All right, I'm having fun with this. This is holding up better than I expected." That scene happened, and I was like, "This is just a bunch of fucking CGI."
Have you guys never pissed in an alley? Have you guys pissed in
an
alley?
I pissed in
pissed in an alley?
Yeah.
How recently?
I think when you're a man, pissing in an alley happens just more frequently.
I'm pissing in an alley.
No, I just mean as a general.
Right.
I think your alley pissing experience is probably
different than your alley pissing experience.
Just different than the average. I think I consider you sort of a connoisseur of alley pissing.
I'm an alley pisser, and so I would just I pissed on the side of the road on the way here.
Yeah. Whereas I think David and I are more casual alley pissers,
right.
which I feel like when you have a penis, not necessarily when you're a man, but when you have a penis. When you have a penis and you can pee standing up, I feel like alley pissing is just part of existence that happens every once in a while.
Okay.
But I don't seek it out.
I think that pissing in I like to think of the two skeleton men as when you see a pothole that's full of fireball shooters and like plastic shot glasses and sludge. And just whatever wrapper and thing that you would rip off, like whatever wristband you've ripped off, and just nebulous garbage in a weird wet hole. Am I right, ladies? So I think that nebulous garbage in a weird damp hole is what the two skeleton men have to bring to the table. I think that it's smoking weed back behind in an alley and then pissing yourself a little bit and being like, do I just take these shorts off? My sweater is long enough. I think that it is, I think it's throwing up on camera. I think that these skeleton men embody what it is to be a vomit whore. I think the skeleton men embody what it is to be a vomit whore, which is you're not real.
I think they're definitely the outcasts of the monster. The other monsters are fuck, the skeleton men are here at a party,
You're just bumbling fun. You're bringing the party. Sorry that the other monsters are bringing the whatever it is, but the skeleton men are bringing the party.
Yeah. When Shaggy and Scooby accidentally make all the monsters on that little assembly line in the fucking secret lair.
Yeah.
I think maybe the skeleton men, Jacobo was I might not even do those ones.
The skeleton men are doing karaoke. The other monsters are signing up, but they're too scared to do it. They're too scared to do it, except for the cotton candy one, which would do it, but he was eaten, so fuck him, actually. You're not strong enough. You can't eat a skeleton. You can chew on the bones, but guess what? It's still bones, baby.
Is the cotton candy glob cotton candy all the way through?
I imagine.
I would think so.
Of them. What are his eyes?
I was just gonna say, what are the eyes? The eyes are jawbreakers.
Oh, yeah.
The eyes are jawbreakers, and they taste disgusting. So it's just eyes left. It's just eyes. Oops, all eyes.
It is.
Did he scream while they ate him?
He sort of does.
He screams a little bit.
Yeah.
He likes it. It's fine.
Yeah.
We all like it. We all like dissolving a little bit in someone's mouth. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Whatever.
I don't know. What else are we doing?
What do we say after I said that? I don't know. I've said something that's just really, really gross, and I don't know. Sorry. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing out there? God,
I can't even look at my notes anymore because my phone was dying.
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't have any notes.
No, that's fine.
That's fine.
You don't need any notes.
I don't. The soundtrack fucks, I imagine.
The soundtrack does
it fucks a little
kind of fuck.
Yeah.
Some of the needle drops were working for me better than others. I don't know how you felt about it, David.
There was a point when everyone's getting raped by the tar monster.
Wow.
And it's like, it's time for Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo has to save the day.
I
I mean, am I wrong? That is sort of what is happening canonically in the movie.
I don't know what's going in what.
Yeah, that's true.
Cut this out. Anyway, continue.
I was like, oh, this is the point in which the movie's going to play a pop punk version of the Scooby-Doo theme song, and then that exactly happened.
Yeah.
Good, as it should.
While Scooby-Doo is freezing the tar monster into like a bunch of like half pipes and shit.
Yeah.
With a fire extinguisher. Is that how fire extinguishers work?
It wouldn't go that long for sure.
But are they cold? I thought it was just like dust.
I've only ever fucked one firefighter. And let me tell you...
I was so sure you were going to say I've only fucked one fire extinguisher.
I've only fucked one fire extinguisher, and let me tell you, my pussy is not big enough for that. God, I've learned my lesson. That's what muscle relaxers are for, baby. That's what muscle relaxers are for. Sorry. Oh, sorry if we didn't want to hear that. We fuck one fire extinguisher and we're like, you know what? I'm not going to call them again. I will text them occasionally. Just to keep up good friendship vibes. Anyway.
You fucked one firefighter.
You fuck one firefighter who's not... Okay, you fuck one firefighter that maybe isn't a good first responder, but is an excellent friend and a terrible cook. And if he hears this, I want you to know, God, you're my Shayla. I love you. Have fun in Thailand. Don't listen to this. You won't. You wouldn't be able to make it this far. Fuck you, actually. Anyway, so a good friend of mine. A good friend of mine, I think, would tell us that fire extinguishers last like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're cold because I've never been hit with one. But I don't think they work that way.
I don't think they work that way. Not that it matters that much.
No, but it was hot the way they did that. And a follow-up to that is that I think that there could have been infinitely more bangers in this. But the movie is ultimately a banger. I think that the movie is a soundtrack in itself. And by that I mean, if it had no music in it, it would still be a banger. If it had no music, I would still listen to it in the car.
If it had no score at all, like it's fucking like Children of Men or some shit.
That's really interesting.
Is there score in Children of Men? I don't remember.
But they could have that as a bonus feature.
Or No Country for
on the Blu-ray.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Or it's like, watch Scooby-Doo without music.
Have you guys watched Dinner in America?
No. I want to see it, though.
Dinner in America. Oh, God. I almost was like, we should do Dinner in America for this.
I don't even know what that is.
Dinner in America is such a good movie. You should watch it.
Kyle Dollner's in it.
Oh, okay.
Came out in 2020.
Like
it's incredible. This is my recommendation for something that they should watch. They should watch Dinner in America.
Okay.
And anyone that's seen Dinner in America, you should be like, yeah, you should watch Dinner in America because Dinner in America is the best movie ever made. I watched it 2 months ago. I've watched it 20 times since.
I do like the thank you for letting me be myself fucking song. That where Scooby-Doo does his big dance number.
And then he just starts barking and losing his wig. Which, by the way, whenever I'm dancing, I also lose my wig. If I haven't glued down my wig, I lost my wig dancing the other night. Literally, I was at this karaoke bar and I lost my wig while I was dancing. And it like fell off and I just put it on the chair and was like, all right, we're still dancing. I also have lost a ponytail on stage at the strip club. So can you imagine you're like watching a stripper on stage, she's topless, hair comes out, and you know what? I took it like a whip and I started whipping the stage. And then anyone that didn't give me money, I would look at them and I'd be like, is this not entertainment for you? And
you're not entertained.
No, like so many times at the strip club, like if it's early, if it's between like 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. and like people have like not really come to the strip club yet because it's Vegas and obviously it's a late crowd. If people have not started throwing money yet, the way that I would look them in the eyes from the stage topless and be like, oh, I'm sorry, are you cardboard cutouts? And then they all go, woo, and they start throwing money. I'm like, that's fucking right. And I would just like to say for the listeners, I'm not a good stripper. I'm not. I don't know how to do any pole dances. I do know how to yell at people.
Yeah, and make aggressive eye contact.
I will make aggressive. I straight up will be up there like holding my neck like I'm choking myself and jerking myself off like I've got a big dick. And people will be like, I guess we throw money at this? I guess we throw money at this thing? And They do.
I do, like...
I think you need to start bringing backup wigs if you keep losing your wigs.
Well, no, I don't lose my wigs that often. I don't lose my wigs that often because most of them have clips. Like, I traditionally, like, keep my wigs on. However, every once in a while, I have not attached them properly. Every once in a while, I didn't attach them properly because I was like...
It'd be cool if you lost one and you just pulled another one out of nowhere.
The way that I'm... Sometimes, if I feel that it's sliding off, I rip that shit off. And the way that people, like... When I was bartending, because there's this bar in Vegas called Hogs and Heifers. This is not a paid advertisement for them. I want to be clear, they are not a sponsor of this video.
Although if they want to give us money...
If they want to...
We'll take it.
They won't. They
We'll
won't.
take money.
They won't. Just so we're clear, this is not a paid advertisement. They won't give you money. And anyway, I worked there for a year and a half. And in that time... The way that I would rip hair off of my head and, like, throw it on top of the bar with bras, or, like, I would rip it off and people would lose their fucking minds while I was dancing on top of the bar. Incredible. So if you ever want to get people's attention, wear a wig for just long enough. You can feel it. You'll feel that tingling in your balls. I always did. Where it was time for you to rip your wig off, and then you'd rip your wig off and everyone would go, "Wah!" And that's when you would make the bulk of your tips, and then everyone would be like, you look so much better without the wig. But if you would come out there in your normal hair, okay?
Yeah?
They wouldn't have said that. They wouldn't have said that. If you would come out in your
Makes
normal
sense.
hair, they wouldn't have said that, and you would have put the wig on, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, you're so much better as a blonde." And
Makes
you'd be like,
sense.
"Wow, you're so
Yeah.
you're a cunt. You're a cunt. You just want me. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you want, and that's so true. That's so true for people. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they want."
I like that this afro wig fools these people into thinking this dog's a guy.
No, it fools them into so many things.
Also, to our earlier point, he is really hitting on this woman.
Yeah.
At this bar.
Yeah, he wants to stomp her leg.
Where he's like, "Hello, baby."
He loves her. He's actively hitting on her.
I do like when
He's a stud, for
Old Man
sure.
Wickles says he feels bad for Shaggy because of his brother's huge, hideous nose deformity. That's a pretty funny joke.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
You and your huge, hideous nose deformity.
Peter Boyle's just kind of wasted in this.
What the fuck is he doing in this movie?
He's working on a theme park that he's gonna make a lot of money off of.
Okay, where
and Mystery Inc. is actually trying to ruin that.
His
So
idea
he's trying
for
to
the-
be industrious, and they break into his house and they ruin
His theme
a
park is
man's
just
third
like-
act.
his theme park is a prison full of child labor.
Yes, it's child labor.
Children yearn for the mines.
Is that not what all theme parks are? Sorry, is that not what all theme parks technically are?
I mean, I do think that it is a pretty good idea if these kids are gonna just be like going to this theme park all day anyway and like
Kids love
fucking riding
work.
rides and shit. Just put them to work.
Sorry, kids love work.
Yeah.
Kids love work. Adults know better. Kids
Yeah.
love work. That's why you see kids on like TikTok, not me because my algorithm is coded, but like you see kids on TikTok doing dishes. Could never be me. I didn't do dishes until I was 21, but like I never touched a dish. I never even ate off one.
She still hasn't to this
I never
day.
even ate off one. I was a paper plate bitch. But like I think that it's like kids want to like learn. And so why not learn how to mine? I was panning for gold as a child.
Yeah,
Were we
I did
not?
that too.
So you were.
Did you ever
digging
pan for
through-
gold as a child?
Yeah, I don't think I ever found anything.
Are kids in Arizona still doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that feels like such a formative child in Arizona thing, where like everybody I know who grew up here panned for gold.
We
at
pan
some
for
point.
gold.
I'm pretty sure most northern Arizona towns that have some sort of like, mine or gift
Mining,
shop thing.
yeah, history.
Like that's how they're making their bread
I
and
also
butter
would
is
just like
fucking
to
kids
say
panning
that
for
every
gold.
person in Arizona has been manipulated through just like osmosis to become a tour guide. Like every person in Arizona has become a tour guide. When was the last time you gave a recommendation to something?
Oh, I'm so guilty of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will give a recommendation to something so fucking fast, and it has translated really well into Vegas because like
Right.
everything in Vegas is a recommendation. I am giving recommendations the way I'm making lists for people of restaurants it's because I'm from Arizona. Like I think I wouldn't have felt that way, but I think if you live in tourist towns, but all of Arizona is a tourist town.
Yeah.
Like every town in Arizona, like you're like, well, I mean, if you're here, you should try this. Obviously, this is where the best Thai food is, and obviously, this is what like if you're gonna park, you should park here, and don't take Milton at this time because it's fucking on. Don't take Milton ever because it's fucking awful. Like oh my god, you know where all the things are, and so you just tell people, and then you're like, well, I just gave away the trade secret. Now it's gonna be fucked.
I have this thing where like I'm normally just down to eat basically wherever, and then all my friends are that way too. So if I have a friend who comes to town, especially one who's maybe been here before, they always ask where to eat. And I'm like, you fucking been here, don't you know? And then they ask me, and then I end up listing off 4 or 5 restaurants off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Easy.
And it's like, how the fuck did I do that?
You know where to, like I haven't lived here since
I just picked 5 places that are in a square mile of my house, so
of
I don't have to
course,
drive that
because
far.
that's all you need to do, and like
Yeah.
the restaurants are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like that's such a thing. I think that like children, and again back to the idea of having a small mining town for children to come and do small mining, and we're gonna make a fortune because they're doing the mining for us, and
For free labor.
They're doing free labor because
much like the American prison system.
It's not just free labor; they're paying to go. They're paying to go to this theme park and do. It's genius. It's genius. God.
And it seems like Old Man Wickles really has these investors in the palm of his hand until the fucking Scooby Gang shows up.
Until his life gets ruined.
Those meddling kids!
Yes, they ruined his life again. They already sent him to prison. He served his debt to society. He's trying to go legit.
This is the thing. Influencers hate industry. They're influencers and they hate industry.
Yeah.
Sorry that he's trying to like pull himself up by his bootstraps. He's sent to prison. Sorry that he's looking for his third act after prison time. Okay? Sorry that he's trying to like he's following his heart. He's following his dreams.
The really good Peter Boyle moment in this movie to me is when Shaggy, because he's talking to Wickles at the Faux Ghost, and he's like, it turns out like going to prison and turning your life around actually did you some good, so you're probably pretty grateful, huh? And he like starts to take his disguise off, and I love Peter Boyle being like, if I ever see those twerps, I'll rip their eyes out of their skull and make them eat the one eye while they watch themselves eat it with the other eye.
Yeah.
He's like crushing the peanuts. It is like a really good moment from him where I'm like, oh, that's why you got Peter Boyle for this role. For this one line.
He's got just the tone of voice. Honestly, it's everything about him.
Yeah.
Perfect man. I would kiss his wrinkly forehead if he wasn't dead.
I'd give him a big hug.
Right.
If he wasn't dead.
Right, if he wasn't dead. If he wasn't.
All right,
but he is, so.
Peter Boyle.
I guess. But if he wasn't. Right, if he wasn't, though.
I'd hug his corpse if it was available.
I want you guys to know that all of us have the most hunched shoulders you've ever seen. We all have the worst posture out of any
it's podcast posture.
This is like no one has rolled their shoulders more. Like we couldn't keep. No one can keep a standard tank top on.
We all have the fucking posture of the zombie guy in this movie.
Which again, hot.
He's
hot
driving an 18-wheeler at one point in this movie,
zombie.
and I'm like, first of all, like, does he have a driver's license? Mm-hmm. And second of all, does he know how to operate this vehicle?
No. Who does? God, I can barely operate a Kia Soul. Someone take my license.
I don't know. I just like that guy's whole vibe. I like when he vomits pea soup like he's Reagan from The Exorcist.
Yeah, that's
incredible.
Cool.
Classic vomit horror.
I like that he's wearing tidy whities, which are surprisingly clean considering his whole vibe.
Whole. Right. His whole.
I just would have thought that there would have been
of his whole.
His vibe is full. Whole vibe.
He's pretty gross looking, but then those tidy whities are like.
He's listening to Courtney Love. Listening to Courtney Love, and he's drinking Diet Coke.
He's probably a Violent Femmes fan, like the zombie boyfriend from Lisa Frankenstein.
Did the monsters in this movie or the first one like scare you as kids?
Not this one.
Black Knight Ghost scares me. Black Knight Ghost scares me because he reminds me of like men I've met in the street.
Yeah, he does have he definitely has like toxic masculine.
Yeah, energy. Same with the high voltage ghost.
Yeah,
it's just
high voltage ghost. I could see scaring some kids. He's a freak.
I think by the time this came out, because I was like 12 or something, I think I was like old enough that none of these scared me. But the first one, I remember when the first movie came out, I was a little younger. I was like
first one's
9.
spookier.
And I remember there's a moment in the first one where Mary Jane is fucking possessed by the demon already, and she like gets hit. She like hits a tree, and her face gets all fucked up. Yeah, that moment scared the fuck out of me as a kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
But nothing in this movie scared me.
Yeah, I don't remember the first one scaring me.
I have like a fear of liminal spaces. So there's something about when like they're riding through that ride in the first one, and then they get to like just like a set, like a set dressing that's like empty.
Yeah,
I felt the same way when I went to Disneyland for the first time, and I was in like this. I don't know. I was in some sort of imagination blah 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 thing. I'm not a Disney fan, I'm so sorry. Like I was in some building and then there was like an empty set and I was like, this is not it for me. It's the same way I feel when I walk into a CVS and there's that front room.
Yeah.
Liminal space.
Yeah. You know what this movie is? You know what this movie is missing? Because we were talking about the first one. You know what the first one has that this movie doesn't? That I think is like a detriment is like another lead other than the four of them. Because in the first one you get a lot of Rowan Atkinson. He's like in that movie like a lot.
Right.
And in this one, like I wish, like I said, I wish that there was more Tim Blake Nelson. But
I
it's like
there's Alicia Silverstone. She's in it a little bit more.
Yeah, and Seth Green's around, but I feel like
I was sort of thinking Seth Green was going to do that.
Yeah, but I feel like neither of them are in it as much as Rowan Atkinson's in the first one. And I'm like, I kind of like as much as I love Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle and the whole gang, right? I'm like, I kind of wish that there was some other spice here.
Do you think that a lot of things were cut?
Yeah, probably.
There's got to be a lot of scenes.
This movie
cut, right?
moves really fast.
Yeah.
Like it's 90 minutes, but like so much happens and it's just whipping by.
Right. There's like so little.
A lot of
plot.
characters.
Yeah.
It's a lot of characters. They kept it really simple. I think that they were like, what if we kept it simple like one of the episodes of the television
That's what I like.
Which I kind of do like.
Yeah.
They were like, it's in the same way that, okay, well, so in the first one they were like, we're not really sure, let's just, and to take it from an R rating and then not just through reshoots but like mostly just editing and like CGI and whatever, they're like making it a different movie. To take it from R to PG or PG-13 is like a big deal. And then for this one they were like, well, we know what audiences want, so like let's just make it truly like an episode of the like let's make it like a made for TV movie.
Right.
I think that they really hit the mark on that one. I will say that like I think that there could have been even more dark undertones.
Mm-hmm.
I think there could have been more dark undertones. I think that there could have been more like, you have so much standalone between Shaggy and Scooby.
Yeah.
And like when like Scooby is this like mad scientist, but he wants to be dumb again. Like
I actually
we haven't talked about Shaggy with tits.
Right.
Yet.
Okay. So we need.
We said we would do that 90 minutes
tits
ago.
can fuck.
Since it was already brought up, right? Like I just that whole scene I remembered very well from seeing this movie as a kid, and I was interested to see how it would hold up. And like, first of all, like, I forgot that it was like a Cronenbergian body horror sequence.
More movies should have body horror.
Where fucking Scooby turns into a tentacle monster.
Give me the substance. Give me the substance in Scooby-Doo. Go fuck yourself.
And then, Shaggy is force-femmed because he drinks a potion.
Right.
And I don't know. It's uncanny because his head is sort of shoddily CGI'd onto his body. Like, it doesn't look very good.
No.
And it was like, honestly, it freaked me out more than anything else in the movie because it just looks so bizarre and uncanny to see Matthew Lillard's face like badly shopped onto this sexy lady's body. But it was also kind of doing it for me a little bit.
When he bends down to open the fridge and he has to crane his neck, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not how a human being is supposed to move.
It's pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
perfect.
and then when he gets the huge muscles, I was also like, this just feels like fucking. It feels like The Fly right now.
I love The Fly.
I also love The Fly. We could have done The Fly.
We could have done The Fly.
But instead we're doing Scooby-Doo 2
I'm so
Monsters
sorry,
Unleashed.
viewers, listeners and viewers. We could have done The Fly, and if we had done The Fly, the episode would have been way shorter because we would have just been talking about how hot everyone was in the movie and how amazing a sweet, beautiful 6-foot Gina Davis is. And then the podcast would have been over in 5 minutes because it would have been like, wow, what a hot movie with hot people. It's so cool when someone becomes a fly. Movie over, podcast over.
I'd become a fly for Gina Davis.
I think Shaggy should have stayed in the lady body for the rest of the movie.
I think it
That's
should
my
have
hot
been
take about
longer.
this movie.
I think the scene of smart Scooby and like at least himbo and or like hot like titted hot titted Shaggy should have been longer. I'm sorry. I think it should have been longer. And if they really cared about us as people, they would have made it long. Schneider cut it. Schneider cut this.
I also
longer scene of that.
like that Shaggy doesn't really seem to not like it. He's just kind of surprised by it.
Oh, he likes whatever. He's good with whatever.
Yeah.
He's casual.
But Smart Scooby was one of the jokes where I was like, I don't know how this is going to age for me. I was laughing at it a little
It was
bit.
great.
It's pretty funny.
Great.
I like him being upset that he's smart and being like, I gotta make myself dumb again.
I think that it was...
I was like, hard to relate. I went to college and immediately forgot everything I learned.
Absolutely. I think that it's like where they got the inspiration for like Professor Hulk. Professor Hulk is actually based off of Smart Scooby.
Einstein Scooby. I like that he gets white hair like he's Einstein.
I think that we've covered it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing else to say about this movie other than it being incredibly hot and everyone should watch it. It's the hottest sequel other than all the other sequels that have ever been made. Every sequel to every movie ever made is actually the hotter version of the movie. It's the hotter version.
Does that mean the third Lord of the Rings is hotter than the second one and the first one?
No.
No.
The third one is not as hot as the second one.
So the second one's the hottest.
In the same way that Men in Black 2 is hotter than Men in Black 1. Well, no, Men in Black 1 is hotter because, like, hot.
But I do think your rule does apply to Star Wars because I'm pretty sure Empire Strikes Back is way hotter than Star Wars.
Way hotter. Yeah. The Godfather, hotter.
Spider-Man 2, hotter than Spider-Man 1.
Is so much hotter than Spider-Man 1.
Yeah. Although Spider-Man 3 is also pretty hot. Because there's goop in that.
Yeah. This is the second time we've mentioned Spider-Man 3 on this podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how I feel about Spider-Man 3.
The listeners don't know how you feel about
it. If the listeners, which by the way, I'm assuming that everyone listening to this has seen me in a photo of, in the symbiote Spider-Man suit. If you haven't, feel free to DM me. I have so many photos of me in the black Spider-Man suit. I'll take one for you personally. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. Fuck you. Oh god. Anyway, I love Spider-Man 3. I think it is the best. Well, I think Spider-Man 2 is the best of the Spider-Man movie, original Tobey Maguire, but Topher Grace is Venom. Topher Grace. Oh, Topher Grace.
This movie could have used some Topher Grace.
Topher Grace would have been great in this movie. Topher Grace would be great in every movie, which is why he's the best part of the movie about the two Mormon girls that get trapped by Hugh Grant.
Yes.
Not a good movie, but
Heretic.
Yeah. Topher Grace is in it for a second. Underutilized. Put that man in every scene.
It is wild when he shows up in that movie and you're like, wait, what the fuck?
And you think he's gonna do something and he doesn't.
Yeah, and then he's like barely in it.
This is not what this podcast is about right now, but I would just like to say about Heretic. Heretic and Longlegs have something in common, which is they make you think that it's a different horror film than it is.
I agree with that, but I think in Heretic's case that's derogatory, and in Longlegs' case that's complimentary. Like no. I think the false marketing for Longlegs was good actually. I think then with Heretic it was bad.
I think they're both derogatory. I would just like to say why. Here's the thing. I would like to say that Longlegs stuck with me longer, and it is 100% because Nicolas Cage did a very odd performance, and his odd performance really like captivated me. I would like to say that his performance captivated me in a way that like I was more forgiving of the fact that they made you think that it was going to be like this paranormal like think piece movie. They made you think that it was going to be something else, and then it ended up being a slasher for no reason slasher movie. And then in the same way, Heretic was the same way. Like if you're going to do that in the same way that like Terrifier does it perfect because Terrifier knows what it is. Terrifier knows that it's going to be senseless violence. And both of those movies ended up being weirdly senseless violence as opposed to psychological. So they both wanted you to think it was going to be psychological. And you think this is going to be a puzzle movie. This is going to be psychological. And then it wasn't. It was just slasher. It was slasher at the end. It was like senseless evil for the sake of senseless evil. And that's my problem with both. And that's why I think of both of them as derogatory. That said, Nicolas Cage, congratulations. You did a really good job. Nicolas Cage, you did a perfect job. And I think that anything you would have done would have been really great in that film. It was the fact that they just took you in a totally different direction. Longlegs can go fuck itself for the things that it did in the second half of the movie. The first half, great movie. Great movie.
I don't know. I like the second half.
First half of Heretic, first half of Longlegs.
I know what I think
both of these movies are fun.
David has been silent because he likes both.
They're both good and fun. Yeah. I think Heretic has more of like okay, you're a fucking kid on Reddit that just discovered atheism. Like, yeah. All right.
I think Heretic, if they're gonna go the way they're going, should have been an hour longer.
Yeah, maybe.
I think if they were going to take it that direction, make it an hour longer.
I kind of agree because like as soon as that movie starts getting interesting, it's like
over.
Almost over.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. Have it be where she really needs to escape the cages. Yeah. Like really dive into like that portion. By the way, if you haven't seen these movies, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, we didn't expect there to be spoilers for Heretic.
I'm so sorry. Watch the movies or don't. Actually, both those movies can go fuck themselves. both those movies can go fuck themselves. Go watch something more interesting like Lisa Frankenstein, which is a perfect movie.
I did recommend Lisa Frankenstein on a previous episode.
Lisa Frankenstein is perfect.
Great movie.
It's perfect. Also,
awesome.
Your Monster. Have you guys seen Your Monster?
I do want to watch that. I've heard
Your
about
Monster
it.
is great.
Yeah,
Your
I've heard
Monster
about
is
it.
great. Have you seen Your Monster?
I haven't seen Your Monster, and I haven't seen Lisa
Your
Frankenstein.
Monster, Lisa Frankenstein, and Your Monster like really bring something very interesting to like sympathetic horror romance that I think is very fun. Comedy, horror, romance, all in one that I think that we haven't gotten in a long time in their movies that I think are...
They definitely feel like...
They're a reset.
At least Lisa Frankenstein to me felt like a little bit of a throwback.
You will love Your Monster because I think it's a movie... It's a movie where if you're not... if you have not done theater or you're not in the theater, this movie is probably boring as shit to you. It's a theater kid movie.
I'm gonna bring up one more movie, and then I promise we can keep talking about Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Do we have anything else to talk about with that
movie? We can wrap it up if we need to.
We can talk about the cover.
But I did just want to ask you, have you seen Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person?
No, but I want to. It's in my list. Oh my god.
I think you would really like it.
I want to watch it so bad.
I think you'd really like it.
I want to watch that one, and I also want to watch the Tilda Swinton vampire movie that's like The Only Lovers Left.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
I haven't seen that one either.
I want to watch both of those.
But yeah, I think you would really like Humanist Vampire. It's very it's cute and romantic and a little gay.
It should be gay and it should also make me nervous. To make me nervous.
Anyway,
gay and make me nervous.
The only other thing I need to mention about Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed is that, for whatever reason, the joke that made me laugh the most watching this movie this time was when Scooby pretends to have rabies because him and Shaggy are sneaking out to investigate. For whatever reason, that was the funniest fucking shit I had ever seen in my life watching this movie last night. Like, I rewound it and watched that scene again because I was like, it's fucking comedy gold. It's so fun. And I think the thing is the voice performance from the voice actor playing Scooby going, Ruh-roh, Ruh-roh. It's just really making me
really
laugh.
Good. It makes me think of my friends when I've seen them on ketamine. When I've seen someone in a K-hole, I'm like, yeah.
I also just love that everybody in the gang's reaction is like, what the fuck? Like, all right. And it's like, okay, like if he actually has rabies, that dog is dead. Like, by the time they're foaming at the mouth, you like have to put them down.
Should we talk about how they like, just really quickly, how they like don't give a fuck if Shaggy and Scooby live or die?
Yeah. Especially like towards the end of the movie. Which is
why I think that there is a polycule, but I think that there is an asexual portion of the polycule, and then it's a throuple. There is a throuple happening,
right? And then like Shaggy and Scooby are like they're like the third wheels of this throuple.
It's a throuple that's open.
Yeah.
Polycule with asexual and dog, because obviously there has to be a giant dog, and obviously they all smell bad. Like there's no way that any like I think that Daphne and Fred both smell good because they really care about that. I think everyone else smells crazy.
Yeah.
And I think their house smells crazy because when you have a big dog...
Oh, it definitely smells crazy.
It smells crazy.
And from all the orgies.
Well, and also Shaggy's fucking, always...
Between weed...
hotboxing it.
And there's weed, and then there's no way that, like, there isn't so much, like... Here are my thoughts. I think that Velma has a problem with hoarding soda cans in her room.
That tracks.
I think she's hoarding soda cans, and I think she has a bunch of like unfinished cereal bowls that have dried. That because she's like staying up and falling asleep in front of like whatever computer solves mysteries for her.
This tracks.
And so I think that everyone's room smells crazy, and I think that it smells crazy in there. They have a maid that comes in, but I don't think they clean their rooms. I think they just clean the like main areas that everyone's gonna be in, that are for show, because we don't see upstairs. We never see upstairs, so we don't know what it looks like. I think there's shoes everywhere. I think they smell crazy because they are polyamorous as fuck, and I've never met a polycule that didn't smell crazy. I think that there's a throuple involved because there's always a beautiful throuple, and they always have a third, and that third is kind of open because she's not as attached as the other ones are, because that's how it works. There's always a main couple, and they've been together a long time, then you bring a third in, and then that third can kind of have dalliances, but they're still like, it's us. And that's
Velma. Like she's exploring her thing with Seth Green because she's like, maybe I want to try dating outside the throuple.
And Shaggy comes in every once in a while when he feels like it, but for the most part he's just kind of chilling. thing.
Yeah.
I don't think Shaggy's washing that green shirt and those brown pants.
No.
Never once has he washed those pants. I'm wearing
one.
brown corduroy right now, and I want you to know that I thrifted these 2 days ago when I was in California. I have not washed them.
Also, his facial hair just gives off the vibe of, like, this guy smells insane.
He's wearing no underwear, corduroy pants. Like, that is the way it is, and I understand because I'm wearing them also because I'm an authentic fan of this film.
Yeah. She came in costume.
I came in costume, and it probably smells crazy.
David, what if I did the Shaggy with my facial hair? Do you think that would work? If I only had hair right here?
I think you could do it. I think it could work.
I was thinking about it.
I've tried that for a while.
Danglier earring, I swear to fucking God. Let's change earrings.
An even danglier earring?
I want an even danglier earring
Yeah.
from you. I want just like one more layer.
I really like your mismatched earrings, by the way.
Mismatched earrings is the way to go.
Listeners, you have no visual reference, but Hannah is wearing one earring that is a butterfly wing, and then the other earring is like a giant hoop with like a soda tab, and there's like some beads or something on it, and a cigarette butt is also hanging from it. It is really...
I also have ears because I believe in the spirit of childhood. I have a hat with ears on because I understand what it means to be fun. I never killed the little boy in me the way some have. Yeah, and I've been drawing on my pants while driving, which is why I was swerving so much. Sorry to anyone
Not because
who's
of
on
the
the
buzz
40.
balls.
No, fuck you. Never. God, no. The ADHD, I have to drink and drive. I'm just kidding. I would never drink and drive. I would never stop at a gas station looking for buzz balls and they say, you have to go to Safeway for that. I'm so sorry, we don't have any. And I'm like, oh, thank you for telling me that, you king of industry, titan of industry. I wasn't drinking and driving. I'm so sorry, everyone. I promise. Please don't cancel me for this. Cancel me for everything else I've ever done. Cancel me for everything else. Fuck. Sorry. God. I'll be at the Monty V later if anyone needs it.
Hopefully you're not still there by the time this episode comes
No,
out.
hopefully not. But if so, I've moved in and I'm 100% only using the public restroom. I'm hanging out in there and I'm doing my makeup 24/7. Anyway. Oh, God.
Anything else about the movie?
I don't have anything else about the movie. Do you guys have anything else about the movie?
I think it's just final thoughts, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah. Well, the way that we normally give our final thoughts is by asking a question, and we usually ask our guests first when we have a guest. Hannah is Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed from 2004, the greatest movie ever made.
No, but it's a perfect movie, and I think that is beautiful. I think that if it's the greatest movie ever made, that's bleak as fuck, but I think it's bleak. I think it's bleak if this is the greatest movie ever made. I will say, perfect movie. In the same way that, like, people are studying The Princess Bride, I think they should study this movie, because it is the epitome of simple arc, fun colors, good costumes, good character work, good
Hot
casting.
cast.
This is a case for casting is everything.
That is really true.
Yeah.
This is a case for casting is everything. I think it's a perfect movie because it was perfectly cast.
I think this would be worse with different actors.
If you put
Yeah,
any
totally.
other actor in it, it would not be what it is.
Completely
and
agree.
I think that it's not about script. The script, who fucking cares? The direction, fine. I think that at the end of the day, it's about the costumes and it's about who is cast. And they really ran with it. And I think that, like, the cast did something with the characters, and you could have given them literally any script. You could give them any piece of script, or piece of shit script, and they would have really brought something to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can literally put anything in front of Sarah Michelle. Like, some of the...
You could have put them in a plastic box,
Yeah.
and it dangling over the Grand Canyon, and been like, be this character, and they would have given you something really interesting. And so I think that that's what it really comes down to, is that this is a perfect movie for casting alone, and then otherwise, no. Is it the greatest movie ever made? No.
Okay.
No.
Justice.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Is Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed the greatest movie ever made?
David, Hannah. Hannah, thank you so much for being here. For being here in person.
You're welcome.
We were talking about this before the mics turned on, but David and I didn't know that Hannah was going to drive from Las Vegas
sorry.
To record with us in person. And I am like so fucking glad you did, because it is just a delight talking to you, and I love seeing your face.
It's more fun in person.
It really is.
Yeah. I'm more fun in person. I don't know.
I've had a great time. And thank you for making me watch Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
You're welcome.
Which is not the greatest movie ever made. I'm going to give it a no as well. I think, Hannah, you put it best when you said if this was the greatest movie ever made, that's bleak.
It's bleak.
I agree.
It's bleak. God, when we have everything everywhere all at once.
I had fun watching this movie. I didn't have a bad time watching it. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to. Because I was kind of like, I haven't seen this movie in like 2 decades. It was like shit that I only kind of liked as a kid, you know?
Fun for the whole thing.
And then going back to it, I was like, oh, a lot of this is still pretty funny. The CGI is bad, but bad in kind of a charming way, right? And at least, even if the CGI is bad, at least the designs are something, you know? Because I feel like a lot of the time with like fucking Marvel movies and shit nowadays, you get CGI that is obviously fake and it doesn't look convincing at all.
It's such a bummer. They're slapping it together. That's the difference.
The designs are boring and lame and like not imaginative, right? And I think the thing that you can say for the totally CGI characters in this movie, like the fucking 10,000 volt ghost and shit, it's like there's actually some like real care put into designing the character.
More time was put into something that wasn't as advanced versus less time on something that was advanced.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have the dimension. This had more dimension in it.
Yeah. And so I appreciated that. I was sort of charmed by this thing. I was laughing a lot. But I mean, it's Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. I think the performances take this a really long way. I think Matthew Lillard is the fucking GOAT. Yeah. And I'm really glad that guy's career has hung on and that he's still doing shit. Because like, I wish nothing but the best for him. And you know, Sarah Michelle and Freddie Prinze Jr. are my icon couple. I love them so much.
Heroes. Heroes.
So it's always fun to see him on screen, but like, no.
What about you, David? What did you think?
It's gonna be a no for me. Yeah. But like Justice, I had a better time with this than I expected, and I really appreciate that this tried to be closer to the show. I love when it's like, oh, we're in a fucking spooky mansion investigating and looking for clues and doing the thing where we're being chased by a monster and this funny music is going. Like, it hits all of those beats pretty well. It's light. It's pretty entertaining. I think the performances really hold this thing up. Yeah. Matthew Lillard is so fucking good in this thing.
This is actually a Matthew Lillard appreciation podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pivoting. We're just doing Matthew Lillard movies from now on.
Matthew Lillard, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Join us next week for 5 Nights at Freddy's.
Is he in that?
He's the bad guy in it.
Oh.
I haven't watched it, but I liked the trailer a lot. And that's something I can also say about that Scooby-Doo movie where the aliens come. I also liked the trailer a lot. I didn't watch it.
Oh, Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders?
Yeah.
You mean my favorite animated Scooby-Doo cartoon?
That's your favorite one?
I had the CD of the soundtrack.
I really liked the Zombie Island one.
Zombie Island was good.
I think partially because I kind of had a little bit of a sexual awakening with those cat ladies.
Correct.
See, that was, I mean, obviously the Hex Girls, but in Alien Invaders, Shaggy meets this hippie girl.
Yeah.
That he has a crush on, and then at the end she turns out to actually be the alien.
Doesn't he sing a whole song about how he's going to marry her and make babies?
Great.
He might. I honestly don't remember.
I feel like I remember even the tune of it. I feel like it's like
could never
so
be in
groovy,
this day and age.
Just us two, so groovy. I feel like I have just unlocked a secret compartment in my brain.
Could never be. Not in 2025.
But yeah, I mean, I had a good time with this. No, it's not the greatest movie ever made. Thank God it isn't. I think this would probably go hard with, like, if I was, like, trashed out of my mind with a few friends.
I was stoned as fuck watching this.
I think this would rip.
I've had 3 buzzballs before recording this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sober. What does that say about me?
Right. I don't know why you would, like, seek this out, but, like, if you did, you could do worse.
This is like a Halloween party watch.
Okay, I would just like to say that if you have a crush on someone and they're sending you voice notes and they're like, oh, sorry, if you hear Monsters Unleashed in the background, fuck that person. Fuck them one time and then never again. Fuck them one time and it's going to be like pretty okay. And then you don't have to fuck them again, but you can send them memes for the rest of your life. And I think that's really beautiful. That's my relationship advice for you. If you have a crush on someone that's watching this movie, that's totally valid. That's valid because people that watch this movie, they're freaks. They're freaks, and you should fuck them just one time, probably.
Hannah, do you have anything that you want to plug?
To our tiny audience.
To the audience.
The 50 people who listen to the show.
To the 50 people that watch the show, if you're not subscribed to my OnlyFans, you should be. Here's why. I'm not posting anything interesting, but you should give me money. No, that's not what it is. I don't know. I'm Golden Sparkle Pony on Instagram, and I'm gonna be at First Friday art walk in Vegas this month. So that's kind of
doing art.
Yeah, I will be. I'll be doing art. I'll be selling it.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
I have a coloring book out, and if you guys need me, I'm also a hairstylist at Sinister Salon. I have a lot of jobs. I don't know. I'm at Peppermint Hippo. Feel free to see me topless. Fuck you. I don't know. God, get your hair done. See me topless. Whatever avenue you want to do. I don't know. God, buy me a drink. Actually, you know what? Everyone on this podcast, send me $10 on. Send me $10 so I can get a drink. Actually, send me $17 because Vegas is expensive. Yeah. You know what? Buy me. JK, I love you all. God, send me a message and just tell me how your day is going.
I second this. Everyone should send Hannah $17.
Send me $17 and tell me how your day was.
David, what are we talking about on this show next week?
Are we talking about Killing of a Sacred Deer?
We're talking about Yorgos Lanthimos'...
Really?
I don't know how you pronounce that guy's
very
Greek last name. We're talking about Killing of a Sacred Deer. Yeah.
Which I've not seen, but I've recently become Yorgos pilled because of Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness.
Yes. So good.
It's a really good movie.
Such good movies.
We're going to have fun with it.
Yeah.
We're going to see...
what's his name?
Barry Keoghan.
Barry Keoghan.
Eating spaghetti in a very upsetting way.
Okay.
Who hasn't? Who doesn't? Who doesn't love spaghetti being eaten in a disturbing way?
Hannah just showed us her phone wallpaper, and it is indeed a picture of someone eating spaghetti.
It's from this famous photographer in New York, and I love it. They have stickers all over Vegas, and I steal the sticker anytime I see it.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Share the show with your friends. Subscribe, like, comment, review, all of that. Send us $17, but I don't give a shit about how your fucking day was. So
tell me how your day was. God, if I don't respond, then I thought your day was boring. Oh, God, I miss you. I love all of you.
We'll see you next week. And Hannah, you want to join us for our sign-off?
Sure.
Do you remember what it is?
No.
We just say later, dipshits.
Okay, fine.
We can do that.
Yeah, I can do that.
And we love you so much. And as always,
later, dipshits. We hope you enjoyed this episode of The Greatest Movie Ever Made. Please remember to leave us a rating and a review, and to subscribe to the show wherever you listen. We appreciate you supporting the show and spreading the word. Tell your friends to listen, tell your enemies to listen, tell your mom to listen. If your neighbor has an unsecured Bluetooth speaker, connect to it and play an episode. You can follow us on social media at TGMEM_podcast. And if you've got a movie that you want us to talk about, send us an email at thegreatestmoviepodcast@gmail.com.